which is exactly the same as the radical. 8 cute little horses and their cute front legs. But maybe imagine the leg in the front held up in the air a little.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Kanji Lesson 2 live stream. Thanks for coming to hang out. I think most of you are at the premiere, so thank you for coming to that as well. Today we're going to be covering that whole video we just did, so we'll be going over each kanji in a little bit more detail. Yuki will be writing them all out for us. She'll be using our little overhead here.
みんな来てくれてありがとうございます。
It says, ようこそレッスン2. Got a cute little dog. That looks like my grandmother's dog, Norman.
そうです。
Oh, that is correct.
今日頑張ってブラシしました。
She was brushing the dog a lot today, as well as backing up some of his hair. So she got to draw him down there. So yeah, she'll be writing out those again. A lot of you have been enjoying her calligraphy. We'll definitely have to make a full video of just your calligraphy.
マジ?
Yeah. The only bummer with the calligraphy videos is that we'll have to do, someone was mentioning doing like lo-fi beats in the background. I think it'll have to be that because
何ローハイビー?
just a type of music, like relaxing music. And we didn't pay attention to the audio for them because we got a big light with a big fan running in the background, and then I'm off recording videos on the side, so we can't actually use the audio from the calligraphy videos. But yeah, we'll at least make one with maybe I'll add some sound effects that sound like calligraphy writing or something. But anyway, thank you for being here, everyone. I'm from Australia and I've been learning Japanese for 7 months now. You have helped a lot. Thanks, I've always been interested in their culture and want to become a photographer in Japan one day. Well, thank you for coming, Dreamy Night Ambience. I'm glad that the videos have been helping. Yuki looks super professional, says. We tried to sort of match, but I think my black is a little bit like bluer than yours on camera. Interesting. Okay. Yes, we are in...
ちょっとコンフェスしてもいい?
Yuki wants to confess something.
ついにね、服ないんですよ、私たち。
We don't have any other clothes, any new
やばい、
clothes.
もうどんどんね、アメリカ寒くなっちゃってね、もう新しく買うしかないウォルマートで。
It's getting colder and colder here. We didn't bring many cold clothes because it was like 30 degrees Celsius when we left and we thought it'd be warmer here.
ね。
So I have like 2 sweatshirts. I think she has 1 sweater and 1 sweatshirt. So we don't actually have any clothes we can wear
ちょっと
on
ね、
stream.
募集します。ウォルマートのハロウィンスウェーターみたいなのあるか、ちょっと面白いやつ。
She's looking for a cool or a funny Halloween sweater from Walmart or something, she said. Someone asked if we're in Japan. We do live in Japan, but we are currently visiting family in the United States. So this is our sort of mobile live stream setup going right here. So, oh my god, my video was like 10 minutes in the past. I just realized it has started. That happens a lot. Hi, Yuki, have you tried a Buddha board? It's a brush calligraphy with water and a board where the character strokes disappear after a minute or 2. I've never heard of one of those. A Buddha board. Probably no. A Buddha board. We'll have to look that up. Buddha board. Images.
それ新しいなんかアートのやつ?
It's something like this.
知らない。
Like these guys.
これ新しいものなんですね。
That's kind of cool. No, I've never seen one of these. That's kind of neat. We've never seen that. That maybe we'll have to pick something up like that for the live streams. That could be cool instead of the whiteboard. Like the whiteboard is cool and all, but maybe having something like this would be even cooler.
かも家に帰ったら筆出す。
Yeah, that would be a little bit difficult. Take out the actual calligraphy pen for the live streams. Do I hear shopping trips, says Chrissy? I think we're definitely going to have to go do a little bit of shopping.
マジそれやる？本当。
What, live on stream? What are we going to live stream our shopping trip to Walmart? See Yuki at Walmart, her favorite place in America?
ね、ちょっとね、なんか刺すな目で見られちゃうかもしれない。
Not a vampire says, yabai! You should totally do something with this calligraphy drawings. I smell merch incentives. We have all of her practice sheets. Like I don't think we threw out any of the papers.
いや結構ね捨ててます。
Did you throw a lot? Okay. There's like a stack like this in our
捨てちゃっても。
in our down shot.
結構ね、なんか気に入らないやつは練習用とか筆洗う用に使ってるから。
She reused a lot for like practicing and stuff.
そうそう。
Yeah. I like traditional Japanese writing, like the one with the ink and paper. Yeah, like calligraphy. A vlog? This channel started out as vlogs. Like that's what I had planned on doing until I found out there was an abundance of J vlogs and I didn't really enjoy them much. So I was like, well, then why would I make them then if I don't enjoy watching them that much? There's so many. So we switched gears. We do have a vlog channel, but there's only like 2 videos on it.
そう、そうだね。全然やらそっちら
Some
全然
people
や
say,
らないもんね。
yeah, some people say we should, but I'm just not very good at making them, I don't think. I don't know. You guys can go check out our old vlogs. There's like 2 of them. There's a bunch from way back in the day. On this channel even. But yeah. Use Sumi ink. Yes.
そうです。
So, Sumi ink です。
I'm
Whoa,
using
Chris,
Sumi
thank you so
ink.
much. Can you write my daughter's name? Vera. Vera.
ありがとうございます。
In Japanese, yes. So,
はい。
as many of you
Vera
probably
ね。
remember, anyone who donates on the stream
はい。
gets their name or a name they requested written in
もう
kanji.
もうノーメンには早速
Bye bye,
来
Norman.
ていただくことになりました。
Gets their
あー、ノーメンごめんね。
So Chris has asked for their daughter Vera's name in kanji. So Yuki will go ahead and start researching
はい。
how to write Vera's name in kanji
そう。
while I try and catch up on the comments. I'm glad you pivoted towards teaching Japanese. Your Genki lessons have been so helpful. I'm glad to hear that. One quick question. Does the audio sound okay? I'm never sure with how.
確かに
I'm
ね、
not very good at
私
these.
も
But let us know. I love the lessons route versus the J-vlog. Yeah, it's way more fulfilling, I have a feeling. And I don't have to leave the house as much, which is nice. I'm such a hermit. Impeccable audio, sweet. Are the ink sticks hard to find? Not in Japan. You can just order them online. So not so difficult. Sweet. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. What else did I miss? Good old Celsius. Yes. Anything else? I was late to the premiere this time, but I came with a notebook this time to practice the writing. Sweet. We're gonna jump right into it so we don't get too late. Inu ga kawaii, says Himeya-chan. I missed that. Yo, WTF. Andy looks so swaggy today. This is how I used to dress for all the Genki live streams.
ありがとうございます。
No matching. Well, sort
あ、
of.
ひみ
We
やちゃん
tried
来
to
て
be
る。
matching.
ありがとうございます。
What else did I miss? ToKini-san, I have watched your Godan verb conjugation. It was very useful and easy. Out of all your videos, you made my life easy. Hontoni arigatou gozaimasu, Mochi Ball. Thank you. I'm glad that those videos are helpful. I thought I did them okay. I think I could do them better now. But I do think they're very easy to understand. So that's what's important. I'm hyped for this. I don't know why. All right, I think I caught up on the comments. Soto ga kowai da yo ne. Yeah, it's very dark out there. Today, oh gosh, oh no, my camera, my iPhone is that camera automatically hooked up to this. I can bring them up on this because this is a Mac. So I'm gonna show you guys a quick picture. Photos. All right, let's pull this up. Okay, bring that over here. And let's see, change the screen to desktop. This is a picture I took yesterday. Check out that guy. Yep.
やばいよね。
That is in my grandmother's driveway.
なんか
Like that live
さ、
photo.
He's a big one.
That's my grandmother talking. I don't know if you can hear.
やばいよね、ほんと。
There's another one.
Whoa.
Yeah. So yes, outside is a little bit scary here, just a little bit at night, because there's actually things to be scared of. Unlike in Japan, outside in Japan at night is not too scary. Austin, thank you so much. Can you please translate my fiance's name? Ha Fam. Can you
ありがとうございます。
absolutely happy to do that. Thank you so much. Can you let us know literal pronunciation of that so we don't get it wrong? I just said ha fam. I just read it like it's English, but I don't know if that's right. So let us know the literal English-like pronunciation of that, and we'll get it down. Joined the Mac crew, yes. This Mac, tell you what, I've used Windows all my life, and after just using this here, I can edit a video on battery with just the trackpad on this thing almost as fast as I can on my Windows PC with a 3080 Ti and a mouse and a keyboard and stuff. This machine is insane. I can't believe how good it is. So glad I got this for the trip.
時間かかっちゃってすいませんね。
Yuki says sorry she's taking a long time. That is okay. Still working on beta. 来てるよ。日本に暑いで32 degrees.
そう。
ひみやちゃん32度?
そうだよ。だってさ、長野も26度とからしいんですよ。
Nagano is 26 degrees. いいな。You know what the temperature is here? I believe, let's pull out the sidebar. It's, oh yeah, 24 in Nagano. What is it here? Weather would like, I don't care. Yeah. Hackettstown, it's 12 degrees out right now. 12 degrees. It's going to drop to 8 degrees tonight. Tomorrow's high will be 24. No, tomorrow's high will be 18 degrees. Wonderful Celsius. It's wonderful. Love it. Actually, I kind of love it. B. Brett, thank you so much. Thank you for all your content. I'm having so much success. I have a request for Yuki. Could she write my name for aquatic characters? With water-like characters. Okay, you got your work cut out for you, honey.
Okay.
ブリタニは水に関してる
名前がいいってことね。
名前がいいね。はい、OK。
水に関係してる名前ね。
And Hafam, let's see if Austin mentioned, I don't think Austin mentioned pronunciation yet. You got the pronunciation correct for the English translation, as the Vietnamese version is Pham Ha. Okay, sweet. So Hafam. Okay, Hafam in the Buritani. Okay. I'm still trying to get used to the last name first, unlike the US. Yeah, in Japanese, doing last name first is a little weird. For us, with foreign names, often we do first name first. But when we do that, we put that little dot. Let's see if I can bring that up, the little dot. Actually, that's gonna be, I can put it in chat. So like for me, Andoryu dot Saruman. So you put that dot to indicate that your first name is first. But that's often how it's done. Is M1 Mac? I've used Macs for a while. Only ordered my first one on 21st of January 1984 in college. Wow, no. This is an M2 Mac. It's the M2 Max. So I edit a lot of videos, and a lot of these are super heavy duty. Lots of effects and lots of like 20-something tracks per video. So it had to be pretty powerful. Andy, I have so much to thank you. If it wasn't for your Genki series, I probably wouldn't have come this far today. I finally reached lesson 10. Congratulations. Greetings from Brazil. Thanks, Gordon. Konnichiwa minasan. Hi guys. Virtra Mian. I'm so glad to be here, says Mochiba. I'm glad you're here too. Thanks for coming. M1 is indeed, Bear M1 is indeed a Mac. That's the name, right? Sort of last name, first name. Yeah, it is a beast. And it actually, like the fans never come on. Blows my mind. Joshina, thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the lessons, says Joshina. Thank you. Joshina is number 4. So. Yuki's almost done with Vera's name. I don't know if you're still here, Chris, but she will be done momentarily. Thank you so much, Joshina. There's going to be 2 other names before yours, I believe, maybe 3. We will get there though, so thank you so much, guys. Syntac, how's it going? Long time no see. Konbanwa, jumped in a little late. Love this new video series as well as the Anki deck. Glad to hear that you're liking that. I keep trying to figure out what those Celsius degrees mean in freedom degrees. I don't know. It's low even in freedom degrees, my friend. Okay, here is Yuki's writing for Bera-chan. Okay, お願いします。
ベーラのベは可能の可っていう字でそのできる。
So the first character is possible or able to do. 可能。
可能性の可です、ね。
可能性 possibility. So that's the first one. ベ。
で、ラは綺麗の麗っていう字なんですけど。
And ラ is the character that is in beautiful, 綺麗。And I believe it's the second character.
そう。
Yeah, the second character. So ベラ。So it's possibility of beauty, basically. Very good. All right, thank you so much, Chris.
Hi.
The next name Yuki's going to be working on.
Having possibility と beauty だと思う。
Having possibility and beauty, yeah, of course. So both of them. Both of them. Having a possibility and beauty. Perfect.
Hi.
All right, our next name is going to be for Ha-fam. Ha-fam.
Ha-fam ね。
So Ha is, I believe, Ha is the last name and then Fam is first name. So
なるほど。Ha は名字なのね。
Fam. はい。
名字も入ってるのね。
だと思います。
はい。じゃあベラ消します。
はい。ベラ、バイバイ。
ベラ消しちゃってすいません。
はい、ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
We are going to be jumping over into the video very shortly. It's going to start right over here. But let's go through a few more comments before we see what is what's happening there. Yuki getting backed up. Yes, she is. I keep trying to figure out what the... Oh, I already read that. Last name, first name doesn't confuse me. Not knowing whether name order was swapped in translation or for Western names is confusing. Yes. And it's not like a standard. Like sometimes you put last name first, first name second for foreign names, and sometimes you don't. It doesn't seem to be much standards. But on documents, like on official documents and forms, it's always last name first, even for our names. And your videos finally convinced me to start lessons on italki after years of false starts with Japanese. Awesome, Jim. I'm glad to hear you're ready to really jump into it. For us, anything below 20 degrees is teriyaki. I mean terrible, either way. Thanks, Dan, for putting up the kanji in chat. Sweet. Ha's first name, Fam is last. だって。はは名前、ファンは名字。
ちょっと待って、逆かこれ。
逆でした。
じゃあ、はからはがファームから書いた方がいい。
Ha is first, Fam is last.
だから
日
本語でいくとこうだよね。だって。
まあそうだね。どっちでもいいと思いますよ。
じゃあこうしとくか。
Thank you, Dreamy Night Ambience. 36 degrees is a bit much. That's a bit too hot for me. Time for you to head out. Have a great night. You too, not a vampire. Are kunyomi no onyomi irrelevant? Yeah, kind of. I mean, they're not. Like, obviously, they exist, and they are a thing, and eventually you'll get a feel for them. But I don't think they're worth learning separately. Just learn words with the kanji, and you will know how to read them. You get used to them. Having to go through that extra step of like memorizing the reading and then trying to remember like 1 out of 10 for a new word you're in, it's just such a waste of time. So that's why I don't put them in the videos, and I never will. Austin Nielsen just gifted 5 ToKini Andy memberships. I just found out that was possible in like the last or the previous stream, so that's super cool. Thank you so much, Austin, for that. And congratulations, Cunning Stunts, Tara W, Plobo, Nickel Clay, and Sitaloki. You are now members of the channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Like, when did that become a thing? I still haven't got my answer for that. It's so cool. I didn't even know about that. What scent is the candle in the background? Ah. Yeah. My grandmother asked me this too. It's hers. I don't actually know, but I forgot that I like scented candles, because like, it says double scented, pet odor eliminator. So that doesn't really answer any questions. None at all, actually. It smells good.
まあね、なんか変わった匂いするよね。ちょっとパインツリー。
Kind of like a pine tree, yeah. All right, we've got Famha or Ha-Fam. Yuki went with last name first for this. Hope you don't mind.
こっちがネームだよね。
そうだと思います。ちょっと待って。Ha is first name. So, Ha is first name. So, so she made a kanji that's used for first names here. Thank you again so much.
ありがとうございます。はい。ちょっとね、このファとかっていう感じはないので。
Right, we don't have a fa in Japanese, so we went with fu a m.
はい、を別々でいきたいと思います。
はい。
で、ふは風のふ。
So, fu is the wind.
で、あは安心とか安全のあ。
A is the safety, yeah, like safety.
とか。
Or,
そう、あってね。
mostly safety.
で、むはこれちょっと逆の言葉になっちゃうかな。でも武士の武っていう字だから。
So this is like a warrior fu. So safety of the wind warrior, something like that, or wind and safety warrior.
だけどね、この字は結構名字にはいっぱい使われてるから。
Yeah, that's very common in last names.
そう。で、ははちょっと一文字は難しいんですけど、この花のはにしたいと思ってこの字にしました。
Right, so she used a character for flowers. It's very rare to have a single character for a name in Japanese, so she had to sort of mess around with flower. And you can read this as ha. So we've got fam ha. There you go. Thank you so much, Austin. Appreciate that. It's been there since 2022, but you have to be on desktop to use the feature. I see. Cool, thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much, Austin. All
あり
right.
がとうございます。
Our next one is going to be Brittany.
ブリタニは
Brittany.
水に関係あるやつなんだよね。
Yeah, something to do with water. So thank you so much again, Brittany.
Brittany.
And thank you, my Riganai. Thank you so much for
はい。
amazing content. Can you please write my name,
ありがとうございます。
Damien, please? Yes, we can. Thank you so much, Damien.
はい。
We've
あ
got
りがとうござい
Brittany
ます。
and I believe Joshina up. So then
Brittany.
number 3 will be Damien. And we're going to go ahead and jump over into the video, I think, as she works on these names. How do you pronounce fu? How do you pronounce fu? I believe fu.
Fu?
Fu? Like as in who? Like this? Fu? Fu? Depends on the word, I guess, but fu. Senor Serena, こんばんは。アンディさんとユキちゃん。今週は私の子犬の名前を書いてください。彼女の名前は
家族の
ナ
メンバ
イダ
ー全員
いいですね。とても小さいと可愛い犬ですよ。ありがとうございます。Thank you so much, Senor
あ
Serena.
りがとうございます。
Hi, absolutely, we can do that. Not sure what scent that is, neither am I, Jacob. But it does help remove the dog smell, so which I don't mind a whole lot, but thank you.
ありがとうございます。
All right. Is usually used in jukugo compound words. Kunyomi are used for very Japanese traditional things. Another way to think of it is, yeah, onyomi is often jukugo and kunyomi is often used for verbs and e-adjectives. That's like the quick one, but sometimes there's like 10 of each, so it doesn't help too much, unfortunately. Anyway, okay, thank you so much, guys. We will get to your names, but while Yuki is working on those, we are gonna let's go ahead and show everyone our little tiny streaming setup there. We jump over to right here. Okay, we're gonna jump into the video. We're gonna have to put on our headphones quickly.
そっか、私もちょっと仕事に入る。
Here you go.
これどっちですか？
Migi.
はい。
Hey Andy, I came into this chat last week to let you know that I've been acing my exams because of your guys' videos, but this past week I landed a volunteer position at my local Japanese center as a TA. That's awesome. All the teachers are impressed with my knowledge of Japanese thanks to you guys. Well, that's awesome. You had to be the one to keep going, so give yourself credit too, but that's awesome. Thank you, Esteban, for letting us know, and I'm glad that we've been able to help. All right, guys, while Yuki works on Brittany with relation to water name, we're going to go ahead and jump into breaking down the video. Let's go.
Welcome to the second ToKini Andy Kanji lesson.
It's the second
Today,
one.
we have lots of parts and radicals to learn along with our 5 kanji. So we're jumping right in. We're going to be covering the meaning,
Sounds good,
building
Esteban.
blocks, writing, historical
This is a
evolution
little bit-
where
little bit
applicable,
too
and a
small, isn't
story
it?
to
We're gonna
memorize
pull it like
each of
that,
the following
And then
kanji.
we're going to go like
We'll also learn the parts
that.
and
You guys
radicals
enjoying that?
needed for those
That feel
kanji.
good? Making
And
anyone
stick
sick?
around to
Hope
the
not.
end of the lesson where we'll be doing a quick
Sweet.
quiz to help everything stick. So let's get into it. This
All right, our first one
kanji
is
is an
5.
oddball. With 2 strokes that are somewhat rare, it means 5. That's right, this video is also going to be mostly numbers. The official radical is 2, which
So yeah, most people do learn numbers first. I'd be curious to know if anyone else learned numbers first. Or did learn something other than numbers when they first learned kanji. Because I know some of you have learned kanji already and you're just here to hang out, which I appreciate too. That's super awesome. Another thing I want to mention is last week, I forgot to do this until we got to the quiz, but what I really want to do during these live streams is not crowdsource, but sort of hear stories that you guys have come up with for each of these kanji. So right, we have our story that we picked and we drew a picture for it, but I always mention it's great for you to make your own stories because those can be better, easier for you to remember. So if you can type those in chat when we get to the story section, I would love to read those out so that people watching this later on can use those stories as well, perhaps. And if it's a really good story, maybe go ahead and throw it in the comments of this video that we're watching right now, as that can be super, super helpful. When I first picked up Japanese, I somehow already knew some like hito and fire. Okay, nice. I have learned kanji but don't know how to write. I think a bunch of folks are here to be more literate. We also like hanging out. All right. My 5th grade teacher taught us Japanese numbers and even had a chart of the kanji of them from 1 to 10. All right, sick. I loved hearing the stories on the replay last week. Yeah. I think it's really cool if we can like see what other people's minds work like. RTK has you do the first 10 numbers first. Yes, it does. Absolutely.
Which appears to act like a sandwich on the top and the bottom. The diagonal line and upside down flipped over L are both...
Yeah, so like we've got this is 2, I guess, because the official radical is 2. So this line and this line here, that's 2. And then we've got these weird lines that you don't, like this one you see from time to time, this is literally an upside down backwards L, but this diagonal line, not so much. I mean, this itself shows up in a lot of other radicals and a lot of other kanji, the number 5. But this line on its own, don't see it a whole lot. So I didn't teach it as a separate part.
Both quite rare in my experience, and are not radicals on their own. So
That's interesting. Seabass says, my teacher in high school taught us moon, sun, tree, mountain, water. I actually ended up putting a lot of those together as well. I did sun and moon together in one lesson, but we needed those for 100 and stuff like that, so I put those together. And then tree, mountain, water, I think mountain I ended up putting somewhere else, but tree and water, I tried to keep like the elements and stuff together. I learned Chinese characters, and this is very relatable. All right.
So we won't learn them separately. 5
Mouth
has
house.
only
What's that? I learned mouth house first? Okay, so nani? My boyfriend speaks Japanese and says it all the time, and I had him write it. Okay, nani? Right.
4
gotcha.
strokes. Fortunately, it follows all the expected
Why,
rules.
Japanese people?
We start at the top,
Why?
working west-east, then north to south with the slightly diagonal line, do our funky backwards L
Looking
on the
forward to making
side,
this calligraphy
west to
video when we get
east,
back to Japan.
and north to
It's gonna be
south
fun.
in one stroke, just like in mouth actually. Finally, we finish.
We also actually, Yuki has done the calligraphy for all of the hiragana and the katakana. So we're going to be doing like a 2 or 3 hour long video where we teach katakana and hiragana together with just Yuki's calligraphy. So that's going to be fun.
頑張りました本当。
Finish with the bottom line of the radical for 2, ending in
All
the
right.
southeast
Ooh,
corner. Historically,
okay. That wasn't supposed to happen. Anyway, Yuki has finished Brittany's name. All right, let's check it out.
お待たせしました。
Oh, I see 2 water-related things in there. Sweet.
そう、まあこれはちょっとあれ。
So it's like ice.
二水なんです。そう
ice.
そうなんですけど。
はい。
はい。
Thank you again, Brittany.
ありがとうございます。ちょっと難しい漢字ばっかりなんで
This
す
is
けど。
very difficult kanji here, but we're going to break it down.
すいませんね。
Push it up a little bit. All right.
部はその舞うっていうダンスとか踊りの
Boo is to
部で
dance, or yeah, you'll see it in like a dance, like a stage, or actually dancing, so it's dancing.
はい。で、りはこれりんって読む字なんですけど、これが、そのさっき言った冷たいとか結構こういう寒い冬を浮かべなんか思い浮かべる感じ。
So this kanji brings up an image of like a cold winter snowy day. So we've got water in its snow form. Right?
だけどなんか爽やかな感じ。
But yes, it's like a nice light feeling of like looking out on a beautiful
でこれは
mountain scene.
谷っていう感じなんですけど、まあ谷とはあんまり普通は読まないけど、渓谷の川の
Right.
クリー。
So this can be read as tani. So like I believe if you have like a mountain coming together like this and then the
So-
water running down through the
So,
middle.
so, so,
Yeah, so
so.
this is the scene of that water running down the middle between two like mountains in a valley, or a little gorge or something like that. So this is the water running down. You can see the left side of that is the water radical. And then the left side of the one before that is the ice radical. And then we've got that all dancing together for the name
Right.
Buritani. All right.
ね、気に入っていただけるといいですけど。
I hope you like
はい、
that,
あ
she
りが
said.
とうございます。
And thank you, Dan, for putting that in chat. Awesome.
Hi.
So the next name we're going to be working on, I believe, is Joshina kana. Let's see.
Joshina?
Joshina.
はい。じゃあブリタニーちょっと消しちゃいますね。
Hi,
すいません
Brittany. See you. Thank you so
あ
much.
りがとうございます。
All right.
ジョシーナ。
Joshina.
ね
Joshina. Oh, my name is pronounced Yoshina だって。
ヨシナ。
Yoshina.
オッケー。ヨシナね。
Yoshina だって。
あ、なんか日本語、
はい
日本語っぽい。
It does sound like Japanese, actually. Yoshina.
ヨシナ。
All right.
Hi.
We're going to pop back over to the video and take a look at this weird, what 5 used to look like. I kind of like this better. Makes more sense to me. I don't know.
This kanji was written to look almost like an hourglass, though I don't think that was intentional. Nor is
Probably
it
not.
particularly helpful. It also reminds
not.
me of the Roman numeral 10, which also doesn't
Can you
help
see
us
that,
at
guys?
all.
Can you see the Roman numeral
Unless
10,
you think of it
numeral
like
10
the
there?
Roman numeral 10 sandwiched between 2. In other words, divided, thus giving us 5.
Good job, me.
I just made that up on the spot.
Yeah, very, very,
Ignore
very
that.
helpful.
Because this
Super
kanji
helpful.
is kind of an oddball, I've blended
How's it going, Japan Get? Thanks for stopping by, even though he can't hear us. We'll wave at you. About to hop up the Shinkansen to Hakata Station back in Japan. Man, you're in and out lately. Sweet. Yay for Kanji series. Hope you two are having a good time. I hope you are too. Thank you. Waving at you on the train.
本当だよ
Hitting up Kyushu.
I've blended
All right.
the story with
So, as you can see, I struggled with this story because, once again, we've really just got the number 2 to work with and then these weird pieces. So I just made them pieces. They're just pieces. So we got the 2 worms and they've got to work together during a game of not Pictionary, but charades. In the kanji deck, I wrote this as Pictionary, but this is clearly charades. So in the first update to the kanji deck on the website, that'll be getting updated. But you see they sort of move together, they're moving the pieces closer together, and here we have, it looks like a 5. And they're supposed to make a 5, but they mess up, they go a little bit too far, and suddenly those 2 pieces go like together, and now we have the kanji for 5. So if you can visualize the worms playing charades like that, it might help you remember it.
with
We'll see.
somewhat of a pictograph. Here it is. Our
Bye,
2
Bye,
fluorescent
Mochi Ball.
worms are challenged to
Mochi Ball,
create a 5
arigatou
with
gozaimashita.
2 other pieces, a pole and an L-shaped bar during a game of charades. They overshoot the mark a bit. Can you see that? There's an Arabic numeral 5 there, but
Right
then
there.
the worms go a little too far and we get the kanji for 5 instead.
Literally what I just explained.
Remember that
All right, so now I'd love to hear if you guys have any stories that you use to memorize 5s. Let us know in chat and we'll be happy to read those out and maybe those will help someone better than my story did. All right, I remember it as a H, high 5. Ah, so the 2 hands are coming together from the top to the bottom. Okay, so the 2 hands, you got the 2 hands, one on top, one on the bottom, and then we've got H, a little H there. So high 5 like that. I like that. That's super cool, France. All right. While someone else is bringing up their stories, Yuki's gonna she's gonna explain to us Yoshina's name. Thank you again so much, Yoshina.
ありが
Appreciate
とうご
that.
ざいます。
はい
ヨシはちょっ
Yoshi.
と本当日本人っぽく考えてしまった
She
んですけ
thought
ど。
of it like a real Japanese name.
はい、ヨシは美しいっていう意味でヨシです。
Yoshi is utsukushi, which means beautiful.
はい。で、なはなるっていう字で。
The na is to become, naru. So Yoshina. So beautiful and to become, becoming.
そう、このヨシって字はね、いや、いるその名前。
Lots of. I feel like I've probably seen this name before.
本当
almost.
クラスメート。
Definitely with Yoshi.
アンディのクラスだった子。
Oh, definitely there were girls that used that kanji in their name for sure. Yoshi,
Yoshi.
Yoshie toka.
あ、そうそう、いる
Things
ね
like。that, definitely. All right, thank you
これで。
so much. All right, Yuki's next name to work on while we go continue reading your stories is Damien. Damien, thank you so much. I don't know if you're still here, but my rig and I, Damien.
Damien ね。
Damien. So
これっ
Damien.
て男の子なの？
Yes, Damien.
はい、吉田さんありがとうございます。
ありがとうございま
指摘し
す。
ちゃうね。すいま
はい。
せん。
ありがとう。Okay, we're gonna jump back over to the
はい。
video and checking out the stories.
デミアン。
The last one looks like an upside down 4, which I want to make helpful, but it doesn't work. You're right, that does look like an upside down 4. But if we add 2 to 4, it becomes 6. If we remove 2 from 4, it becomes 2, which is the radical for 5. But that still doesn't help us, I guess. But yeah, I can see that. I see the upside down 4. But how do we make that into a 5? I'm not sure. Verb conjugation started to be easier and clearer as soon as I started to learn kanji verbs. My retrospective advice would be to start with the verbs in kanji when doing verb conjugations. Yeah, having the verbs with having the kanji in the verb when you learn the verb is definitely very helpful for learning where exactly you have to conjugate. It doesn't always help, but it usually helps a lot. I just got here. How do you get your name done? Aki-zan, thank you for stopping by. The name thing is something we do for people who have donated on the chat, done a super chat basically, just to say thank you. So people who did a super chat to say thank you. Yuki makes their name in
はい
kanji for them. We'd love to do it for all of you, but Yuki would be here until tomorrow morning at about 8 in the morning. And considering a bunch of you guys hang out here and other people will keep waking up, we'd probably have to keep going until she dropped down on the ground and asleep. So yeah, we can only do that for super chats, but thank you so much, guys. So she's working on Damien's name right now. Envying anybody riding the Shinkansen, I'm way into electric trains, and that's on my list for someday getting to Japan. Yeah, I love the bullet train. The Shinkansen is awesome. We always take it from Nagano to Tokyo when we're coming to the States or whenever we have to go to Tokyo, because it's like 90 minutes to an hour. Well, the really fast ones, 90 minutes. I think it takes a little bit longer on the regular one. But anyway, okay. So we got some stories there. That's awesome. Thank you so much. 私は Izzy です。はじめまして、Izzy さん。ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
Alright. What a cool show. 楽しいよかったです。
ありがとうございます。
楽しんでいただいて。ありがとうございます。Alright,
Now
let's go
is
ahead
a
and
great
continue
time to
through.
pause
So
the
we get the
video and
24-hour
really
stream if you
try
write
to
everyone's name.
imagine that story, or to create a story of.
We would never make it. My body slowly runs out of caffeine as we do this at night. So by the time we get to around 11:30, I'm slurring my words. It sounds like I'm drunk. I haven't drank in months. So that's definitely not the case. But yeah, I don't think we could ever do a 24-hour stream. It would be rough. You could be sleeping. I mean, if you guys want to see a stream of us just here like this.
いやマジさなんか途中
It could be
でこう
possible.
やってなってて
Yuki was falling
寝
asleep
て
last
た
week.
みたいなやつでいいな
Last week she said, what was it? Oh, we were doing this. We were asking you guys to
Oh,
give us your stories last week during the quiz. And she was like, wait, we're going to do that? I'm so sleepy.
あごめんね眠くなっちゃってて本当
Number 1 stroke is a minus sign, and the number 5 stroke is 1. 5 minus 1 is 4. There's only 4 strokes though. So the number 1, that's a minus. Okay, yeah, I could see that.
Cool.
And the 4th stroke is 1. Okay. So yes, if it was the 5th stroke, that would work. But for some reason, 5 only has 5 strokes. Oh well. On we go.
Story of your own that will help you remember it even better. This part is an official radical and not a kanji on its own. It means pot lid. Remember,
All right, hold on.
official radicals on its own.
Let's keep going.
It means pot lid.
Pot lid. Okay. So I get annoyed sometimes at like RTK and Monikani for one reason. It's not a big deal, but it annoys me more than it should. And that is the fact that, okay, this radical, this official radical, is called pot lid in Japanese. Nabe buta. It means pot lid. Okay? And it looks like a pot lid, doesn't it? Okay. If you cannot see that as a pot lid, let me know. Everyone else, do you see the pot lid there? Does everyone see the pot lid? Let me know by a show of hands in the chat, or just hit that little cool heart thing. That's cool too. What should you hit in the heart? Just hit the 100 a bunch of times and let me know if you see that. Right, so it's pot lid, right? RTK calls this a top hat. Why? Like he had to have known that this was pot lid. Look, I see all the agreements in chat there. He knew this was a pot lid. Why did you choose top hat? Like what other part in the Japanese language did he need pot lid for? Why is this top hat? I don't understand. For those of you who have used wanikani, what do they do? I know they use a lot of random words for these things, but I'd be curious to see if they actually got this one right. So listen, yeah, it's the smallest top hat, says Myra Gana. Yeah, I could totally see this being a top hat, but I just don't get why. Like why? Anyway, I think that is what Wanikani calls it. I started it last month before I knew about this. It doesn't even look like a top hat. It looks like a worm on a surfboard to me. Yeah. It does look like a worm on a surfboard, and we could have used those as the parts as we wanted to. I just learned the pot lid. It would have to be taller. I think Wanikani used lid. Okay, so they used the right one for a change. That's good. Maybe they used a lot of the real ones. I don't know. They definitely used some like weird ones. I felt like when I beta tested Wanikani like 7 years ago, that they were in the beginning, like the early days of Wanikani, they were copying RTK a lot, So they used different words, like they forced in different words, differentiated enough so they didn't get sued. That's what I felt like. But they have differentiated themselves over the years a lot from RTK. So now it is a completely different thing. But that's how I felt in the beginning. But it looks like they made the right choice on this one, so that's cool. I always saw it as a potlid. I taught myself kanji by trying to read. Nice, that's awesome. It's clearly a French beret, I agree. I mostly remember I think, excuse me, crown they call Viking. Okay. Geoduck. Okay, they call it a lid. Okay, sweet, good.
Remember, official radicals that are not kanji do not have official radicals because they are official radicals. That makes sense, right? As far as parts go, you could try to break this down into a drop and a one, but really it's just its own
We're not
thing.
gonna do that.
Potlid has 2 strokes, and it starts at the top. Dots on top of a kanji are usually written first, so keep that in mind. We go north to south with the handle of the potlid, and then west to east for the lid itself. The official...
I like that. I like that the dekoboko, that one kanji, is top hat for etowaru iji. I like that. It never means kanji as a component of potlid, but it's the name of it. Like the name of the official radical is potlid, so I don't see any reason not to use it like that. And then when we make the stories, we just put a potlid in the story somehow, so it works fine for me. I think Yuki might have Damien's name done, so we're going to take a look at that. All right, Damien, thank you so much again.
ありがとうございます。
はい。
はい。では、神殿とか、殿様の殿っていう字です。
So this den is like the den in a... Shinden that's not a temple, but like a palace, I believe? So a palace, it's the den for a palace.
本当はね、ちょっとでとは読まないんですけど、これでと読みたい。
Right? We usually don't write it as de, we usually write it as den. But for names, that's you can move them around a little bit, especially these days. So we're going with de.
許されるから。
はい。
はい。で、みはこれ心って書いてみと読みます。
Right, so this is red. The next one is heart or mind, heart or mind, and we can read it as me for names. So
で、
み。
安が安心とか安定とかの安です。
So an here is for safety and also for stability and things like that. We saw this one in another name earlier. So de mi an. Thank you so much again, Damien. I appreciate that. All right, our last name for now, excuse me, something's in my throat. That is not the next name. The next name is going to be Senor Serena Carl's dog. And the dog's name is Naira. Naira-san. All right, Naira-san. Senor Serena, I hope you're still here. Naira-san will be the next name. Thank you again, Damien. Appreciate that.
はい、デミアンありがとうございました。ちょっと早速ですが消します。すいません。
Jumping over to
ありがとうございます。
You kind of sound like the dude in the video. A little bit, right? I think that's why I like to react to his videos. I feel a connection with the guy. He's weird, but his jokes are terrible. But yes. Are these videos going to be released once a week? Rocky, for now, yes. We've gotten up to lesson 4 actually edited. They're up on the website. A perk for our members on the website are that they get to see them early. Every time, as soon as I finish an edit, it's up on the website for them. I'll be finished with lesson 5 tomorrow or the next day. And I'm going to keep trying to get ahead. If I can get ahead like 10 weeks so that the members on the website have 10 weeks of videos ready, I may start releasing videos at a higher frequency on YouTube. Especially if I can get 10 videos ahead and we can get the next Anki deck done, finished completely and available for the members, then I may consider releasing videos at a higher frequency. But for now, because we're making it, like right now, yeah, it's 1 video a week for the moment. All right, let's keep going.
The official story for this is not very interesting. It's just a potlid. What we're about to do is something that we probably won't do again for a while. We're going to learn a part based on an actual kanji that we won't be learning until later in this lesson. We're doing that because the kanji for 6 needs this part. I considered teaching the kanji itself here, but we'd still need to talk about this part because it's written slightly different from the kanji. The kanji that this part is based on is 8. See why I'm not teaching it yet? The name we're going to use for this part is 8 horses' front legs. Because that's what they look like to me. The front legs.
Okay, so I believe this is just 8, generally speaking, but it is separated out as a separate part in a lot of lists for the radicals. And it's often referred to by Japanese people as ha, just as the ha radical, because it looks like the ha katakana. We have a lot of radicals that are just katakana, and it was getting a little bit, just too many. So I went a little bit creative here, and I wanted to keep the meaning of 8 because this often has the meaning of 8 in kanji. So I made it look like horse legs.
Front legs of a walking horse. The 8 is important because the original kanji means 8. We'll get to the official radical and parts for this kanji when we cover the kanji itself. For now, let's cover how to write it. It's just 2 strokes. You may remember that the rule for diagonal strokes is we write the ones that go right to left first. So we start on the left stroke, drawing it top to bottom, and finish with the stroke on the right. You're going to be seeing these cute little legs a lot in the future, so let's get you the story.
How cute is that horse? I don't know if Himiya-san is still here, but that is a cute horse. I feel bad for its front legs, but they are cute horses indeed. Yes, Jay, there is a kanji deck for this first level, so for the first 118 kanji, and all the words you need to learn how to read them up to an N5 level. We're almost done with all the data we need for, or we're like halfway done with the data we need for the N4 deck, so that'll be out in a couple months. And yeah, so there's that. And then when we're done with the N4 deck, I'm going to go back and I want to make a vocabulary deck, which we do not have yet. It's something that's in the works to cover all of the vocabulary for N5 and then N4 as well. So, on we go. Yeah, super cute horse. Himiya-chan says, arigato! Kawaii. Yes. Gotta go catch up later. See you later, Brittany. Thanks again. See you in the comments on the website and next week on YouTube. See you later. Thank you so much. All right.
8 cute little horses and their cute front legs. If you think these little guys are cute too, make sure to get subscribed so that you don't miss all of the other great characters and stories coming in this series. Not to mention all the videos coming that teach how to read these kanji, which finally gets us to 6.
Those are coming.
The official radical for 6.
Yes, that is what it looks like actually, Jay. That is good. Peg-legged horse. I'll give you guys a chance to give me your stories for that one when we get to the actual kanji for 8. And I didn't stop to let you give me stories for Potlid because we stopped for a long time on Potlid and I feel like there's not much you can add to
6
Potlid.
is 8. The parts are Potlid and 8 horses.
Why, Japanese people? Why? I guess you could take 8 and then subtract the 2 strokes from Potlid to get 6. Maybe? Nah. We'll go with our story.
First, we draw the Potlid at the top of the character.
I'm sorry for
and
disappointing
then draw
you
those cute horse's legs on the bottom.
We'll get there. We'll just have you write them all later.
Finishing in the southeast as usual.
It's a pretty cool looking kanji, right? Especially with calligraphy. I don't know, it's kind of unique in my mind. You've got this Potlid on top of horse legs. I don't know, kind of cool. What do you think? A good top hat too. Yeah. That one looks like a top hat, right? Moreover, as RTK says. That definitely I can see.
Cool. Historically, this kanji hasn't changed a whole lot, although I find it super fascinating. The seal version of 6 looked a lot like 4 did at various times in history, with legs coming out of a portal in the sky.
What is up with that? That is so cool. Like, why is all the old kanji, the really old ones, why are they so cool? Why did we have to make them so, like, robotic and square? Look at that. Super cool. Yeah, I guess they like circles back then. These are only for the seals as well in the past, so I mean, there's that, but super cool. I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's, you know, You know.
You know?
The old Hanzi is very curvy. Yes, curved lines not allowed. Why? Why Japanese? I love that we haven't covered yen yet. I think I finished the edit for lesson 4 with the yen last week. And that's the kanji for circle, but it's the squarest kanji you could possibly make. There's so many squares in it, but it means circle.
Hi. What was going on in China back then?
Hi.
すいません。先で。
Our story for 6 is
What was going on in China back then? Hi.
はい。
All right,
はい
we've
ナイラが
got
できちゃった。でも
we've got
what's
Naida-san.
going on?
Okay.
China back then だったのに。
Yo.
すいません。
Naida-san, we've got, well, not Naida. We've got Naida-san, the dog's name,
はい。
ready for you.
はい。
Thank you
お
again
待
so
た
much.
せしました。
Yeah.
お待たせしちゃって何がチャイナで起こったのかちょっとスキップすることに。
はい。
はい、ストップすることに。はい、ナイラのなは、平和の和っていう字で、
So
な
na
っ
is
ていきます。
na is the means peace, and it also is used for Japanese things.
はい。で、いは生きる。
E
No,
is to
E.
be alive, life, or living things as
はい
well.
で、らは良いという字でらです
Da is good. So we've got peace, living, and good. That's a great name for
ねえ、
dog.
ちょっと良すぎ
It's
もう
really
おい
good.
で良すぎ
Kind of want that
もう
name.
ね、あと40年ぐらい生きてほしいからね
So she wants your dog to live for at least 40 years because it has such a great name.
はい
All right.
よく生きてくださいとお願いします
Hi, thank you, Yuki.
Hi.
Okay, hear me out. Ha equals teeth, and potlid can be viewed as upper jaw or lower jaw. Humans have 6 molars under each lid, top half of the mouth, 6 ha, and bottom half of the mouth, 6 ha. Whew! All right. Well, I hope that one helps some people remember it better than this one. I like it. I think they figured circles just use up more pigment, so they broke them up in lines. Could be. Who knows? All right. Super cool. And meets the fish.
6 is the pot lid is on top of 6 of the horse's legs, leaving out 2 below.
Right, so we've got those 8 horses from before, and we throw the pot lid, but we're leaving these guys out. The pot lid's only going on these 6. I don't know if they should be happy about that, or like, are these guys going to be sad, and are they becoming horse stew, and these guys get to live free? I don't know, but 6 horses are under a pot lid, whatever that means. I love these
ね
horses.
かわいそうな2匹どうなっちゃうんでしょうか
Yeah, well, we don't know if these ones are the kawaiso ones or if these ones are the kawaiso ones. Whatever helps you remember it better. 6 horses under the pot lid. She's still super young. She has at least 40 years, the dog. Sweet, that's good. Fun catching one live. John Dillon, thanks for hanging out.
ありがとうございます
Why are horses in the pot? They're not in the pot. They're under the pot lid. We're just showing you the pot lid's umbrella. The pot lid's umbrella does look like a pot though, doesn't it? Did mine look like a pot? Did the original? Let's see. Oh, I don't have the original.
On in China back then. Our story for
original-
6
yeah, no,
is
my
the
original was
pot
shaped
lid
like a pot
is
as
on
well.
top of 6
What are you gonna
of
do?
the horse's legs.
They all end up as
Leaving
food.
out 2
First
below.
the worms. No, the horses. Those poor guys.
ねまあ、この後ねポーガイたちはさらにポーになっていくよね
Yeah, the horses just keep the horses
ネタバレ
just
すぎ
keep
か
getting
な
worse. The stories for the horses, the poor guys.
ね
Do you like horse meat?
ホスホースじゃなくてミートまで来るのね
Horse meat. Do you like horse meat?
Yes, I
Oh,
like
she does.
ホースミー
It's actually really good.
トね
You can get it in Japan.
でなんかね It helps my anemia なんです
Oh,
よ
it helps her anemia, yes.
So-
It's very red meat.
え
Very red.
Very good meat
And you can get it raw as sashimi in Japan.
So,
And we
very
have had it
good.
before. I definitely feel bad for the
本
horses.
当申し訳ないけど
But
ね
I feel bad for the cows and the chickens and everything else too.
そ
So
うありがとうもうねだってね私はね殺すかどうかじゃないもんね、
まあね
もうねいただくしかないもう、
yeah, she has to eat the red meat
Yeah.
for her anemia. So she doesn't want to kill him. But anyway, moving on from that dark
ひみや
subject.
ちゃんも
Himiya
ちゃんひみやちゃんもでもひみちゃん馬肉ユッケラブだから
Baniku yukke love. I would definitely try it anyway. Pot lid is also called to, which means head or top. So technically, top head makes sense. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You can eat horse in Japan. Yes, you can. I miss yakiniku. Mm-hmm.
そうなんかね
Horse meat is available in the
ロブ
USA
スター
too.
みたいなスタイルじゃないよね、本当。
Of course not. Of course
うん
not.
みんなね、ちょっとそういう
It's not like
感
you
じじゃ
boil them
ない
alive like a lobster. No,
そんな
nothing
感
like
じ
that.
じゃない。もうね、あるんだからもう食べるしかない。もうそれでいく。
Did they get pretty sick? Okay, I've never had an issue, but you got to be careful where you eat raw food in general.
あ、そうそう
It is more of a delicacy. You don't eat it every day. I've only eaten it like 2 or 3 times in my life. Yes, 美味しいっすよね。
うん、美味しいんですよ。
はい。
ね。ありがとう。
Like with
まっちゃん
Potwood, this is another radical that
So the open source diagrams that I use for most of these kanji, they don't have one for this hook, so we had to make our own little. You can see. You probably wouldn't have even noticed, but how this arrow is not a perfect.
ちょっとね。
It's not a beautiful.
ちょっとハンドメイド感が出ちゃ
It's
って。
definitely handmade. Definitely handmade.
ね、なんかさ iPad のさペンがついてんのにさでマウスでこうやってがってちゃんと
I was using a mouse. It was not easy. 全然食べませんね、レイチェルさん。大丈夫ですよ。食べなくて大丈夫です。
はい、大
You
丈
do
夫
not
で
have
す。
to
そう
eat
そう
it.
私たちだって
That
ね、なんか
will work
食べないんだからそんな
Yeah,
に。
we really don't. I
So-
had it like once or twice, 2 or 3 times at a yakiniku place, I think. That's about it. But generally, I don't. We
well
don't.
as a pictograph. If you haven't
Yeah, it's
guessed
just
just
a
from
pictograph.
looking at it, this one is a fish hook. It's
It is
not
indeed.
a kanji, just a part, so there's no official radical, and its only part
Yeah.
is itself. There's only one stroke, so we start in the north and curve back up. This kind of reminds me of the right leg from person's legs. Maybe we should have taught it there. Anyway, no complicated stories here. It's a fish hook.
It's a fish hook. I don't think we need any special stories for this part. But what we do need is for Yuki to write down all of the kanji that we've covered so far. What do you guys think? Oh,
あ、やばい。まだナイラがい
Naida-san.
たここに。ナイラここに40年生き続けていくから。
はい。
あと40年あるからここに。
はい
消しちゃう？
お願いします。
はい。
All right. So we're gonna have Yuki write
はい。
5, 6.
はい。
Oh, and that's all we've covered so far. Are we only on 6? Wow, we're
そう
taking
だ
our
よ
time.
あ、そうかそうか。これ今回さ2回ずつ書いてくんだよね。こ
Excuse
こ
me.
れの
So
方がいい
first we're gonna write a nice one, and then Yuki's gonna write it like a regular crappy
ナイス
handwriting.
わお。
A nice one, and then like
ナ
a
イスワンと
super fast, easy one.
ナイスワンね。ナイスワンとナイサーワンね。
お願いします。
はい。
こん
5だよね
にちは。ドイツからのご挨拶です。こんばんは、フィリップ。Time
5
to
が
follow
できま
along.
した。
There is the number 5. Yeah, Jacob's going to be following along with his pen and notebook. All right, sounds good.
はい。ようこそ。
Can we have an Andy reaching across the desk version as well? You can if you'd like. Yes, let's go ahead and get Yuki to write the sort of
スケッチじゃなかった。
like she would in a
こう
piece
い
of
う
paper.
感じでいいんですか。
Oh, I like it. I like it. I like it. That's what it might look like on a piece of paper.
また
Okay.
みんながさね
な
爆発する絵文字配っちゃうよ。
No, leave it there. Leave it there. Leave it there.
Right.
Not only am I reaching across the table, I'm also reaching across
あ
Yuki's
これも
iPad.
使わない？
You can close it.
使うか。
You let me close it. All right, this is hard mode. Hard mode for Andy over here. Let's get a different color for me. Okay. Let's see if I can get my 5. 1, 2. Oh, there's a nice curve. 3, 4. All right. Not so bad. Pretty bad though. Okay, now I'm fully extending my arm. All right, there's my super fast, crappy handwriting version with a fully extended arm. Those are not beautiful, but
何って言ってるよ。
Nani, says the goat. My son just looked over my shoulder and said, "Can we go back to Japan for a whole summer?" I'm not rich. You can come back to Japan for a whole summer, but yeah,
リッチになってくれるよう
you
に
just have to find like a
頼む
really cheap place to stay. There you go. Although the plane tickets are no joke these days, doing a more normal handwriting version is really helpful. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah. The super fast extended arm version actually
ゴ
looks
ーち
pretty
ゃん
good.
と本当に
Thank
さ
you.
ちょっとこれちょっとスタンダードかわかんないですけど私のや
はい
つなんかまあお寺とかで見れるでしょ。
She says she doesn't know if hers is actually standard, but you might be able to see that handwriting one on the right in like a temple or something. All right, so let's go ahead. Next, we've
Hi.
got to draw the number 6.
はい。
The
6
number
ね。
6. Well, she's got her iPad in front of her now, blocking the way.
これちょっともう閉じたわ。
Goodbye 5.
Goodbye 5.
All right, we get a normal version of 5 on top.
あ、6
6, I'm sorry, 6, yes. 1, 2. That's the pot lid. And then ha, or 8 horse legs below the pot lid. Very good. That's the nice version. All right, I'll do the extended version. Not the extended edition, just the extended arm version. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
あ、ちょっと頑張ったじゃ
That's
ん。
not too bad.
あ、
Not
す
too
ごい。
bad.
なんか今までにないうまさ。
Not very good balance, but okay, let's see the handwritten one.
はい、じゃあブルーの方がいい？
Either way. Looks like molars. Okay, that could work. Interesting. Okay. Super fully extended arm.
うん、いいんじゃない？
Ma, that's how I would write it really fast if I was just writing somewhere. Like on a piece of paper for a quick note. All right. So we got those out of the way. Sweet. All right. Fishhook, we're on our way to 7.
We take that fishhook and turn it into a 7. The official radical of 7 is 1. Does that mean fishhook means 6? 1 plus 6? No, that doesn't work, does it? Anyway, the parts, as you could probably tell it...
When I was recording this is not scripted. I'm just like, yeah.
This point
Don't
are
mind
1
me.
and fishhook. What do these things have to do with 7? I don't know. Sorry. You'll notice that the 1 being drawn here is actually slanted up to the right. We still draw this wet.
Well, when I say that, 1 is normally slanted up to the right, but in a lot of fonts, the 7 is actually like way more slanted up to the right than a normal one. So that's why I'm mentioning it here.
To east though, and draw our fishhook down through it. Because as you may remember, lines that go vertically through other parts are usually drawn last.
Yes,
7 has an
Sando-san.
interesting historical evolution.
I would like to make him more a part of this, but we'll see.
In that it used to look a lot like the kanji for 10 looks now.
I mean, right over here, this is 10. That's 10 now. But apparently it was 7
これす
before.
ごいね。
Yeah, and what the heck is going on here? Dude, come on.
これ違う方向
These are
行
so
っちゃっ
great.
てんじゃん。
Imagine the legs coming out of the portal in the sky next to this. Like we've got, what is that, 60,
そうなんだ。
67? 6, 7? Like how cool. Let's just try it. We're going to go, we've got portal in the sky. I'm going to do an extended
うまく
portal.
できる
No, I'll do
でしょ
it.
これ。
We've got,
チじゃん、こん
what is it? It's like this. And then like a portal like
チ
this.
じゃん。
So that's 6. And then we've got 7? Something like that.
そうだよね。
Like what? How cool is that? I want to write like that every day.
独性。
This is super spacey.
これさ、ね、もっといっぱいさ書かなきゃいけない感じになったらどうなっちゃ
I
う
know,
の？
but it's so cool looking. Anyway, now that we're way off track, boom.
Now. And in more recent times, relatively that is, it was kind of like a groovy cross or a
groovy
weird
cross.
dagger. None
Or a
of
weird
that will
dagger.
help you
I
as
feel
much
like I've
as
seen that in a
this
video
image,
game
though.
before.
We put 1 fluorescent worm on a fishhook, and casting it, we noticed it looks like a 7. Do you see the 7? It sure looks like
Yeah.
1 to me, especially if you've ever seen fonts where there's a line through the 7. On a side note, if
Yep.
you're finding this video helpful, make sure you hit the like button. It really helps.
Really helps. Oh, wait.
I think.
I think. I don't really know. All right, back over to the
そうな
overhead.
の？ライクボタンってさヘルプにならないの？
I don't know. I think it does, but I don't know. I have no idea.
そう
I don't really know
なん
it
だ。
helps.
全然関係
I'm
ないか
supposed
も
to
し
be
れ
like a
ないの？
YouTuber or something, I guess, but I don't really know
なるほど
anything
ね。
about what helps anymore.
はい。
Anyway, 7.
はい。
It is literally 7 upside down. Yeah, because a lot of people do put the 7. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
みんな気づいたかどうかわかんないんですけど、このさセブンってこのさフォントだとここがさ跳ねるじゃん。だけど跳ねなくていいと思うここ。
Ah, I see. So what she's saying here is that you may notice that in fonts, so if we go back a little ways over here, if you look just even at this, in fonts it
跳ね
goes
てもいい
up,
と思う
right?
けど、
So she says, but you don't actually need to do that. It can look like this a lot when you're
あ
writing it.
どっちでもいいんだよねこれって。
Either way is fine. Yep.
私は跳ねないやつを習いました。
Yeah, the line through the zeros also helps if you've got letters included to differentiate them. So the lines I think really help. In fact, at Saizeria, a very famous Italian restaurant, Italian chain in Japan, you write out your orders nowadays. Ever since COVID, you write the numbers. They have like numbers next to each thing on the menu, and you just write what you want and hand it to the waiter. And they make you put the lines for sevens. For 7, you need a line. For 0, you need a line. For a couple of the numbers, they make you put the line for it. 7's one of them. All right, so my extended arm 7, let's see if I can get this right. I think I would have used to go straight like that. Like that's how I would have used to write it. But now that I know, I've learned from Yuki that you want to kind of go up, I'd probably write it like that. There's my little tiny 7.
もういいんじゃないですか。
Ma. I think that curve back under is unnecessary. It's more straight, but.
確かに。はい、じゃあちょっと7行ってみたいと思います。
All right, here's the sort of handwritten.
は
Okay,
い。
looks exactly the same as the other one. Okay, fully extended arm handwritten. Wow, that's
これはちょっと読めないんじゃ
that's
ない？
definitely not okay. Okay.
ちょっとねラフすぎちゃう。あ、いい感じ
Okay,
感じ。
so there's my sort of quick handwritten written 7 with a fully extended arm.
いやちょっとむずいよねこれ書くん。
Making it really nice looking is difficult. Anyway, popping back over here, I'm eating spaghetti. Perfect. I know watch time is important.
スパゲッティ
I wonder about likes though. Yeah, I don't know. I think likes used to be really important. I don't know if they really are anymore. I like Caesarea too. It's super cheap. Like, how? It scares me about the ingredients, but
ね。
I don't know how they say in business. But I don't mind it. I don't think it's that bad. It is a little bit too salty for some people, but I don't think it's the worst at all. My internet is going out, so I have to leave for the night. Hope to watch the recap later. Thanks a lot for hanging out, friends. I hope you enjoy the recap later.
ありがとうござい
How
ます。
confusing is Japanese addition? Nobody, yeah, nobody writes like that. So like when people are doing math, we use Arabic numerals, regular numbers, when they're doing math. But yes, I could definitely see how that would be annoying. But most people don't do that. OMGLOL says Millie Alderman. I made a 1 to 10 number system that is limited to 1 stroke per number. This heart always hides. It was a fun challenge. That's pretty cool. All right. On we go. If this will play for me.
Fonts where there's a line through the 7. On a side note, if you're finding this video helpful,
Yuki seems to have something she'd like to add.
なんか今更なんですけど、
今
私の
更なんですけど
マイクってついてんのかな。
Your mic is on, yeah. See the little green light there? See if you go like
でも
that.
私
There's a
の
green
マイ
light.
クはこのシャシャシャってやつがさ、シャシャシャ、あ、
Shaしてるよ。
なってるわ。 シャシャシャシャシャ。大丈夫だった。だって
Let us know, guys. Can you hear Yuki? She's a little worried you couldn't hear. I think someone would have said something if they're like, Yuki's really quiet. All right.
すいませんね。
All good?
ありがとうございます。
All right.
helpful, make sure you hit the like button.
Oh,
it really
we've
helps.
already done this.
あ、これか。
In case you haven't.
I think. Moving up
Right.
through the numbers, we get
There's the real number 8.
8. The official radical for 8 is itself. The parts are just the 2 diagonal lines that make up 8. It's just 8. 8 is its only part. The stroke order for 8 is exactly the same as the radical.
So like, if we go back here, we could break this down further, right? And maybe some people would. I don't remember. I don't remember if remembering the kanji did. I don't think it did. But it's not necessary. Like, it's 8. You got it, right?
8 is its only part. The stroke order for 8 is exactly the same as the radical for 8 horses' front legs that we learned earlier. But you'll notice one small difference. The top of the second stroke is sort of above the left stroke. And in some fonts, it's a straight line on top with an almost 90-degree turn into the downstroke. When it's a radical, the lines are next to each other and about the same size. 8 hasn't really changed much over the years, so that brings us to the story, which is exactly the same as the radical. 8 cute little horses and their cute front legs. But maybe imagine the leg in the front held up in the air a little.
Yeah, so like the leg in the front is up like this or something. Hi.
Legs. But
Right.
maybe imagine the leg in
はい。
あったんですけど
はい。
こう次私が書く番ですよね。
そうですね。次 is Yuki writing them. Yeah, that
Alright.
font looks normal to me. Not the one that looks like 8.
これさこれ今の説明ぶち破っていくんですけど、
はい。Yuki's gonna destroy the
いいですか？
explanation we
だ
just
って
had.
さこんなごめんね
はい。
8書くね
She's gonna write 8. 1, 2. All right.
はい
Handwriting a lot of the time. They're just next to each other.
歯
Right?
なんですよ実は、もうごめんね
Now, when I write it, I do it like that.
あーうまいうま
I
い
do go up
すごい
Yeah. Your calligraphy was above. If we
そ
go
う
back
だ
to
っ
your
てさそれ
calligraphy.
はお手本を書いたし本物を見せなくちゃと思って
Right, so she felt like she had to show you the real thing.
ちょっと嘘ついちゃったの
But when you're writing it in handwriting, it's often just like
そう
the
それはねちゃん
radical.
と先生のお手本見ましたから
Right.
だけど実際に書くとき
Right.
ははい
Right. She said she had to show you like a teacher what it's supposed to look like, but when you're actually writing it in reality, let me do my fully extended arm version. You just do them next to each other. Now
そう
mine
だよね
Mine
ちゃんと
almost always, I actually always write them like that, I think, with the thing above.
偉いね
I don't know, I think I like that better.
考えたことなかった一度も
I think to make it more proper, it'd have to be like that. But that looks like new. It looks like ireru. So that's probably
あ
not
そうそう
good.
そう
You gotta be careful with that because there's a kanji that for to enter, which I'm gonna fully extend my arm here again, which is like this. That's to enter. And if you're not careful with your 8 and you go like above it, you'll often see people write like to enter really close together like that.
まあでもここが離れて
As
れば
long as they're
大丈
separated, you should be fine. But just something to keep in
夫だ
mind
け
there.
どね
But yes, Yuki's 8 is always just the ha. Always.
歯だねこれ、
Mm.
こう歯
Hi.
こうなんだよね
Oh,
本当
oh,
は
she did a proper one when I went off camera there. Right in the.
だけど歯でいきますこ
はい
れからも私
Hi, she's gonna keep writing it like ha. She says, Yuki's cracking me up. LOL. She's having a good time. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. You helped me a lot during this language learning journey. That's awesome, non-TT. I'm glad to hear it.
ね正しいことをね教えたい気持ちはあるんですけどいきなりぶち破ってごめんね
One thing I should mention is that I've never seen anyone handwrite ha.
は
I've never
How?
seen anyone handwrite 8 like this. I've never seen handwriting like that.
ああそう
I've never
私
seen
も
that.
見たことない
Not in handwriting. In font, like different computer fonts all the time, but never have I seen that in handwriting before. So that's just something to keep in mind. You're not actually going to write it like that, or you won't see others writing it like that. It's not necessarily wrong.
こんなやつ
Yeah,
で
that.
しょ
I've never seen anyone write that. But is what it is. On we go.
the leg in the front held up in the air.
And if you have any extra stories that you'd like to add for 8, we'd love to hear them, but we're going to keep moving on. You wrote 8 8s on the right. Oh, did we? We had 8 8s on the right.
あ
8
そうだったん
times.
だイエーイ
Alright.
頑張ったね
Gomen,
air a little.
says Jay. All good.
This is a
Planned?
very
Definitely
common
not.
radical, not kanji, that shows up in all kinds of positions in all different kanji.
I like this
And it
one.
can be written at 2 slightly different angles. It doesn't have any particular meaning and is instead
still
referred
have
to
T.
as the no radical because it looks
I do
just
not.
like the katakana no character in one of its forms. This is not a kanji, so it doesn't have an
Just to mention, the actual name for this radical is just no. The no radical. That's the
So-
Japanese name as well. It's just called no.
ので
No.
official radical,
okay,
and it's its only part. On a side note, this looks a lot like the left side of person's legs, which means we probably could have included this and fishhook as parts.
We definitely could have done that, but
But
It's
I
like,
didn't
hits
really
enough
think it would help you
60 minutes.
memorize it much, so we left these until
It's-
now. There's only one stroke
yeah. So like if I had taught no Like we learned person's legs in the very first lesson, right? So if like in that very first lesson, I taught no, and then fishhook, then my story for person's legs, which it is called person's legs, that's the real Japanese name. What am I gonna do? It's gonna be the no character like holding a fishhook, and for some reason that looks like legs. So it's just like, nah, we're gonna save these for later.
Stroke in the no radical. We draw it north to south or follow the curved stroke rule and write right to left. It doesn't really make a difference which rule you choose. Same.
Ah, yes. And Senor Serena there is giving us the actual reading because this is actually a kanji. It's a very, like, it's only used in like one word. Hitsubotsu, I believe. And I'm going to bring up that word in lesson 5. I'm actually editing that video right now. So we're not going to talk about it too much right now. But it's a cool word. I'll bring it up in that lesson. But that's, I think, the only word that this kanji is used in, and it might show up on the highest level of kanji test that Japanese people take. And not very many people take it because it's extremely difficult. It's the highest level.
でも漢検1級にも出ないって言ってたよ。
Oh, he said it didn't. Oh, I have to edit my video then because I said it might show up on that.
クイズノックのやつで。
Okay, so there was a quiz show, and this was on the quiz, that hetsubotsu word, potsu. And they said, I misunderstood, I guess, that it is not even on the highest level of the Japanese kanji test. So I'm gonna have to edit that out of the video. I'm glad we talked about that now. Otherwise, I would have had that for all posterity in a video. So it is not even on the Kanken level 1. So there is no reason for you or anyone else to learn that this is a kanji besides very difficult trivia that even Japanese people would think you're making up.
Same thing. In some kanji, this part will be straight on top and curved to the left from
we could start a whole anime series with fishhook and person's legs using the no character. We could probably start a whole anime series with a lot of
み
these.
んなさ、超スーパーハイレベルのさ、やつ
It's a
around
different
the
story, I
middle
think.
of the character. In other situations, it looks exactly like a katakana no. What's important to note is that they are the same radical. Historically, it used to have a little more wiggle in it. Our story is as follows. The katakana no likes to hang out in many places. It's nothing special. This is more so an introduction of a new recurring character.
Right, it's just a new character. It's not really a story. So a lot of times when you have these simple parts, you make it a thing, or you make it a character or a piece that you're actually going to use in other stories. So it's kind of silly to call this a story. It's an introduction of a new character, is what you would say.
Like the mouth character, then it is a story. We'll be seeing them both a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The next character is a kanji, but it isn't needed until much, much later in your Japanese journey. So
I think this one is Kanken Nikyu, Junikyu maybe. It's very high level. You might see it a lot if you're into like internet culture in Japan. It means otsu. So a lot of people will use it to shorthand for otsukare-sama desu. So they'll just say ots. I don't know if it's so much of a thing now. It's a little old. If you play Steins Gate, so 13 years ago, I guess it came out, a very popular visual novel. What's the guy's name? The nerd? Daru-kun likes to say otsu a lot. He says otsu. Well, a bunch of the characters say otsu a lot because they all use the Japanese version of 4chan a lot. So this will show up in internet slang. And it's got a couple other usages, but it's way down the line. You don't have to worry about it right now.
So we'll just be
Kanken sankyu datte. Arigatou gozaimasu, omuji.
worrying about its radical form today. It's actually just a different form of the radical fishhook. So we call this one fishhook 2. It kind of looks like a 2, doesn't it? If you really try to force it in there. For the kanji version of this, the official radical is
It's like
itself.
an upside down 2.
But we'll worry about that when we get to it in N1. By the way, it is its
And that's another point to make. So it's apparently, thanks to Omuji, it's Kanken 3. It's also apparently N1. It is an N1. So I guess I looked that up.
only part. This character has just
No gets
one
around.
unusual stroke. To me, this one looks almost more like a fishhook than fishhook 1 did.
don't know why.
But anyway,
It
we
does,
draw
though,
a
for
straight
me.
line on top, west to east, And without lifting the writing utensil, we cut back and curve around
Lady Phoenix
into the
22.
hook. In
Glad
the
you're
past,
happy.
fishhook 2 just looked like a squiggle or
Look at that one.
backwards poorly drawn S. I think the coolest
like
version
this one.
was the Chinese
one
bronze
right here.
inscription from like
That one's so cool.
3,000 years ago. Those are the good old days. Don't pay attention to me. The story for
I
this one
do
is
feel like that, though.
the fluorescent worm is slipping off the fishhook down to the string. Imagine the bait from 7 slipping off the top of the hook as you cast your line out into the water. But what's important is that it's still connected by just a thread. It's probably worth noting that 1 is not an actual part of this kanji. That'll be our little secret.
I don't even remember why I made this secret. I don't know why, but it is what it is.
Which brings us to
our
the
last
last
kanji.
actual kanji for this lesson. The number 9.
number 9.
The official radical for 9 is our last radical, fishhook 2, the one with the bait falling off.
That's the
parts
official radical,
include the no
for some
radical
reason.
and fishhook 2. To me, the number 9 feels a little awkward to write. You start in the north and draw the no radical first, which is the opposite of what I would personally expect. It breaks the rule of west to east first, and the rule of vertical lines cutting through a part being drawn last. Also, the fishhook 2 part does not curve back underneath its top line
Dragon Ball
like the
Utsu.
radical on its own does. Instead, it goes straight down at a 90-degree angle.
Dragon Ball Otsu. I want to watch that series. Anyway, yeah, I always want to draw this. Like if we pop this up, I always want to draw this like this. I don't know why, but this just feels so much more natural to me. That's how I always want to draw it. But it's wrong. Granted, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference with this one. Nobody would be able to tell from just looking that I drew this one wrong. But it would be wrong on a test. That's for sure.
はい。
はい。
じゃあ書いていきます。
まだまだ。
Angle. I guess all bets are off with 9s. 9 has gone
I was supposed to. Oh, did I just restart the video? Oh, I clicked the 60 minutes video.
second
Okay,
ToKini
awesome.
Andy
Cool.
Kanji lesson.
Cool.
But we'll worry.
Good job.
No
Hopefully
radical.
don't get a copyright strike from 60 minutes.
line like the radical on its own does.
No,
Instead,
you're
it goes
good, you're good.
straight down
Jokes
at a
are good.
90-degree angle. I guess all bets are off with 9s.
Anyway, I was supposed to put some B-roll of a poker game where someone had 9s and they lost really big.
9 has gone through a few forms, both ones that look almost
is
identical
that?
to the modern kanji, and some that look like weird hands on a squiggly arm.
でも
Or
意
a
外
bent
に
fork.
さ二角なんだね。同じじゃん。
Well, this one, yeah, the old one over
これ
here.
もこれもほら。
But the Western Zoll, it looks like an arm.
だってこれもほら。
Yuki's writing some of those over here. Yeah, those look fine. Those look kind of cool. But that, like, what's going on with that one? That one is, I guess.
ほら同じ二角だよこれだって。ほら
Interesting. Same two strokes. Yeah. Although this looks like a separate stroke if we're
マジ
looking like look at that. It's kind of over to the right a little bit. But maybe they're the same stroke.
こうやって
One.
書いてからこうやって書いてこう。
Well, I don't know. They're pretty cool looking though. I definitely like older kanji better. Let's get that weird face of me off of here.
I think there were aliens in ancient China. Our story is there are 9 katakana nos casting fishhooks into the pond.
You see those guys? They've all look how happy they look. They look so happy. He doesn't look happy. He's not catching anything. This guy's having some troubles, it looks like. Well, let's play this through.
9
This guy's a little sad. This guy's happy, so these are the only guys catching stuff. This guy's surprised because he didn't cast very well. Anyway, there's 9 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I just panicked because I don't think I counted these before. Imagine if there was like 10. I just found that out. Okay, good. There are 9. I counted the nose. I forgot to count the fish hooks when I was checking these. Anyway, hi.
はい。
First one looks like are. It does indeed look like are. That's a good point, James. I agree. Keep that kanji away from me. That one actually looks scary. For some reason, I learned to remember 9 because it looked like katakana chikara or ka with this weird swiggle. Fair enough. Although I think ka is written with the stroke I would expect first.
この
Ka
こっ
is
ちの
written
角が
ka is
先
written
だよ
first
ね
like that there, right? And that's probably why it feels weird to me because
Koko.
ka and chikara are both written like this, but then when you squiggle it out, you write 9 differently. That's what confuses me, I think. Anyway,
ほい
Katakana nose, casting fish hooks into the pond.
Dragon Ball Ko.
Which brings us to
All right, before we do the quiz, it's time to write our versions.
Hi.
All right, onegaishimasu.
ちょっと丁寧に書かなくちゃね
Very nice. Okay.
人生で一番
Yuki's
うまい
9,
か
they're
もしれ
very
ん
good.
ね
The iPhone is seeming to have a hard time focusing over here. Anyway, okay, my extended arm version.
そ
Here
の
we go.
iPhone が頑張ってた
Let's see if I do it right. Oh,
私の
I did do it right. That's okay.
私の
It's a cool cup. Boop. All right, how's my 9 with an extended arm? I think it crosses the no a little bit too far down, but it's not too bad. All right, quick handwritten version.
そうですね
Oh, there you go. Oh, that's cool. That looks like one of the old ones. It kind of looks like an R. Looks like a looks like an R, doesn't it? Looks like a calligraphy R.
確かにね
Something like that. Anyway, mine would be like that. My super fast, fully extended arm.
なんか跳ねてるね
Yeah, really far off. Nobody will be able to read that, I don't think. I should probably try to do. Well, no, it'd probably be fine. If I was writing it really fast with a fully extended arm, it's probably not terrible. You're way off camera.
あはいすいません
All good, all good.
もう私もう出てっちゃっ
She's
た
just going. She's out. She's out for the night. Hi.
Ah,
See you later, Yuki.
あ
Oh, you're fine on that. It's just when we go to the
daijoubu.
overhead, you're cut off.
ーよかったよかった
Loving that cup, says Dan.
なんか
Indeed.
私的にはさ
I'll tell
ここ
Grandma.
のさオツがこういう風になってた方がかっこいいと思う
Well,
ん
it's
だけ
definitely
ど
way cooler. You mean like
この
curving back
こ
under?
こうん
So you mean like
こう
doing
こう
this is
うん
going back like that is cooler. Like that, I mean. She's laughing at my kanji, guys.
ちょっとむずいなんかうまく伝わってないねこれ
She's really good at kanji,
い
so
やそんな
it's
こと
very hard
な
to
いと思う
please.
んですけど
Okay, so she says she's having a hard time explaining what she means. But that
こ
mm.
これがうまくかけてた方が、
If you
こ
can
の
draw
G
that
が
cool.
その
The Z,
G が
the
ねこの
If
G
you draw that
がこ
cool
う来てた方がいいと思うんです
So
よ
if you can draw that part really cool, your 9 will look better.
そうそう
はい
って思うんですよ、
うん
ちょっと一回消すわもうこれ
Hi. Were there 9 of those? Did anyone try to count?
でこれをもう縦にこうやって書いてこれがこういう風に来てた方がなんかかっこいいと思うん
If
ですよ
that's just straight up and the
だから
otsu is even
どうかね
okay.
この
Okay.
ちょっとやってみて
This one is interesting. All right.
なんかちょっと伝わっいい感じじゃ
Oh,
ない
so
なん
what's
かやっぱり
different? What's different on this one? I'm not
わ
sure.
かんないんだけどね。わかん
Ma.
ないわもう。
All right, I'm gonna have to take Yuki's course. I'm gonna have to take
わかんない
Yuki's course on how to
雰囲気も
draw.
わかんないもん
How to draw properly. All right, let's finish out the quiz, guys. See how you do.
Brings us to the lesson 2 quiz. In this section of the video, I'll show you a flashcard with the English meaning for each kanji.
If anyone has
Pause
a
the
story
video
that
when
they
we
would
show
find,
each card and try to remember how to
find easier to help them remember 9, please let us know in the comments and we'll read that out.
write that kanji. Then, write it on your hand with your finger or on a piece of paper. The best way to remember kanji that you just learned
write with the
is
pen.
to search your memory for the story that you used to memorize it. That might be the story that we taught you, or the one that you made based on the
All right,
English
quiz time.
meaning
You
for
guys
that
ready?
kanji.
Get out your pen and paper.
Our first
or
card
your
is
palm.
5.
はい。
Oh, did Yuki remember?
やばいちょっと下手っちになっちゃった
Ding! On we go.
Next is 6.
3, 2, 1. Let's see if she gets it.
はい
Ding!
どう
Back
かなこれさみんな映ってから私書いた方がいいかなこれ
Nah.
Just a few more. Here's 7.
2, 1. Let's see if you got it.
はい
Yay! I got the stroke orders wrong both times. Oh no!
And
Lazy
there's
clown.
大丈夫。
That's okay. You'll get there. Hi, let's see if you got it. Boom. Oh no! She was
8忘
wrong.
れてた。 歯だっ
Okay,
た。
not so bad. I think the iPhone's too close. Maybe that's the problem. It keeps going blurry.
あ、本当。
Anyway, 全部忘れた. Oh no! So remember,
やばい
the
ぞ。
best way to remember these. So it'll
大丈夫、大丈夫。
probably be hard, especially as we get into harder kanji, for you to really learn them as we're just streaming. But what you really want to do is you want to go through each kanji and really, really try to visualize that story as clearly as you can. You take a break after you get to the end of the story and you either make your own or you really try to use that visual to make your own visual in your mind. And then when you do a quiz like this or you're going through your cards, you see 8. You see the word 8. And you try to remember a story about 8 that you created in your mind. And that story, if it's properly crafted and you visualized it really well, should bring up the proper stroke and the, not even necessarily the proper stroke, but at least the proper way to write the kanji. All right.
Finally, we have 9.
1 through 400 during class. That would take a long time. Damn. Lazaritic. They learned kanji by writing 1 to 400 during kanji class. That'll take some time. Let's see if Yuki got 9. Oh, she's got 5, 6, 7, 8, and beautiful 9. Your otsu is very nice. I like it.
今の何？アイロニック？
All good? No, all good. Really, that's
Let us know how many you got right down in the
アイロニ
comments.
ックコメントって言ってるよ。
You can learn the next 5 kanji by clicking here. If the video is out already.
It's
If you
not.
don't want
It's
to
out
wait,
on the website.
you can continue learning with the official Level 1 ToKini Andy Kanji flashcard deck for Anki
Yes.
on ToKiniAndy.com. We're also releasing kanji series videos early for all the members there, so check it out if you want a head start.
Indeed. Lesson 4 is out on the website. 3 and 4, and 5 will be out very soon.
はい。
All right, according to this, there are 6 people watching this live stream. When I go to my live stream stats, there's 60-something of you, so that's interesting. Anyway, back over to here.
はい。9の
はい。
9。みんな書きにくいって感じ？これそんなことないね。
Yuki's asking if it's difficult to write 9. It's difficult to write 9 as nice as you write it. Being completely serious. If I didn't have to fully extend my arm, it might be a little better. Senor Serena got 2 right. All right.
Oh.
You'll get them next time. All right, let's see. I'm going to trace.
トレースして
I don't want to go directly over it because that'll mess up the color. Okay, so kind of like that, eh?
いい感じじゃん。
どうですか？
いい感じ。
Although
い
this
い
should
感
be
じ
extended out a little bit more, I feel like.
あ、いい感じじゃん。すごい上手。
Oh, I got a good one with my extended
いい
arm.
感じ。
All right.
なんかさ、ここの間がさ、ここ、
Yeah.
なんかちょっと四角になるようにできたらいい感じに
I
なる
see.
んじゃない？
That
これ
little area should be a nice little square.
Yeah.
Nice tight square, she says.
って思わない？わかんないけどね。
Who knew that 10 p.m. is the best time for my brain to learn kanji? You will find, I think, that for some of you, that looks nice. You will find that certain times are going to be better for you. Like when I was studying Japanese really hard 10, 11 years ago, I found that between 8 and 11 in the morning were my best times. Like I nailed everything. If I did it in the evening, I was terrible. So yeah, 8 and 11 are like my peak times to learn new vocabulary, learn new kanji, stuff like that. So that's me. But everyone's different. So some of you may find that that 11 or 10, 11 at night is the best for you. It's almost 4 a.m. here, but watching the stream is way more important than sleep. Akizan, nothing is more important than sleep.
寝てくれ。
But I appreciate you hanging out.
寝てくれ。
We're going to be going to bed soon. It's almost 11 o'clock, and we slowly start shutting down. In your opinion, is writing kanji necessary? I've been studying for a year without writing any kanji and have passed N4 mock exams, but I feel like I may have bit myself in the butt without writing. It's not necessary. I find it makes, I'm going to take this out. I find that it makes memorizing things way easier. Memorizing new words, memorizing new kanji. I find that, and not, yeah, no, that's it. Like, I write it, and it's way easier for me to remember it the next day if I've written it like 2 or 3 times. It's just, there are a bunch of studies out there that I found that say the same thing for learning Chinese characters. Like Chinese kids who learned Chinese characters by writing them learned it better than those who didn't. People who take notes in school, people who write them as opposed to type them on a computer, remember better. So writing itself, it has a good link to your memory. So in my opinion, it's very helpful. Do you absolutely need to be able to write kanji in the modern day and age? No, probably not. Living in Japan, I have to handwrite more than you'd expect probably. I fill out a lot of forms. Yeah, you write a lot. You might write notes. You might write lists when you go shopping, things like that. And I recommend doing as much of that as you can in Japanese, because it's a good way to get practice. So being able to write, you can do that. If you have to look up how to write everything you want to write every time you have to do it, you're not going to want to do it very much. So it's helpful. Is it necessary? No. I prefer nighttime personally, then I can sleep on it to help organize my memory. Yeah, that can be good too. I have seen that be helpful, like remembering the next morning after you did it at night. But yeah, 20 years with Japanese, hardly write by hand. Yeah, it's true. Only when I go to the bank or buy a car. Yeah, fair. So yeah, as far as necessary as in do you need it every day? It definitely is going to depend on the person and what you do for a living or what you just do day to day. But for memory, yes. Muscle memory is always nice for creating long-term memories. Yes. Practice, practice, practice. Tried and true, indeed. I think it's because you involve the motor centers of the brain. That could be it. I've learned a fair amount of kanji. I decided I wanted to learn a bit of the writing because I realized I couldn't replicate any of the kanji even though I could read them. Yeah. A lot of people find they can read just about anything, but then they're illiterate when it comes to writing, which is fine for most people. It's not a huge issue. But until it is, until it is an issue. You still, how often do you think you forget how to write certain kanji nowadays?
わかんない。結構忘れる。
Quite a few, ne?
そう、
It's normal.
結構忘れてると思う。
But, and a lot of Japanese people will say that, and you'll see a lot of people learning Japanese use this as an excuse for not learning how to write. Is they'll say, lots of Japanese people forget Japanese. They'll say that. But, this is a big but, most people can remember how to write at least up to Kanken level 4, I'd say. A lot of people. I bet you most people can write, like your average person can probably still write at least like 1,000 kanji. I'll bet. They used to be able to write 2,000. They used to be able to write 2,000, now they can write still 1,000. So it's like, well, Japanese people can't write. Well, they can write 1,000 or more, your average person.
そうだね。
And the rest they have to look up on their phone. But, it's certainly not zero. So,
でもそれさ、ね、自分のさ、ね、ネイティブの言葉だったら同じじゃない？
Yeah. If it was your own native language, sure. Well, English is a lot easier to write. much
で
easier.
もさ、スペル間違えないの？
Not so much.
間違えてんじゃん。
There's a lot of words I can only spell if I write them.
あ、そう？
But yeah.
すげえ、そう？
Yeah.
カタストロフィックとか書けんの？
Catastrophic?
うん。
Maybe not.
書けないじゃん。
Let's see. Let's see if I can write catastrophic. Is it O or A? Catastrophic.
でもう一個。
I think that's catastrophic. Hey, want one more?
うん。Prognosticate.
Prognosticate. I don't even know how to use that word in a sentence. Prognosticate.
あ、correct って言ってくれてる。
Yes, but is
あ、
prognosticate
違う
correct?
そう、catastrophic は correct なのね。
Okay, sweet. Most hated English word to spell is convenience. I can write that though. But yeah, that's a rough one. I before E except after C. Although there's no C after that. Catastrophic. All right, I got it.
I'll
I'll always go to bat for Duolingo for learning hiragana and katakana.
そうよね。
I saw there's a lot of comments that
Okay.
I missed up here. Let's go ahead and read through them. The thing is that I'm learning 7 other languages, so a good language schedule is hard to figure out, but Japanese is very distinct, so it's easier to remember, I guess. Learning 7 languages, yeah. I don't think I could ever do that. I'm a 1, maximum 2, but probably only 1 at a time kind of guy, but to each their own for sure. What I saw is that most people will have practically an impossible time recalling the kanji from memory if they don't write. Yeah, recalling from memory for sure. Reading, you'll probably be fine, but recalling from memory is going to be difficult. Yuki never forgets. She's being humble.
ありがとう。私もだよ。忘れたくないんだけどね。
My
忘れちゃ
8-year-old
うんですよ。
My 8-year-old daughter took my phone tonight when I was on Duolingo doing kanji practice, and it was really cool to see her remember the strokes for atarashi in just 1 lesson. Wow, that's cool. Let's see if I can write atarashi in a few strokes.
はい。
はい
じゃあこれ合ってたということで。
Ooh, I can still write atarashi. Yay! That's good. I'm glad to see that. I'm about to go to Japan in 2 days. I made it to the Genki 1 chapter 8 and have a decent grasp on the simple stuff. What should I work on now? Just the top 1,000 words or most common phrases? Since you have only 2 days, grab some, definitely get some phrases, especially for stuff at like restaurants and stations and stuff. And then, maybe throw an Anki deck for the top 1,000 words into your cell phone or something and work on those for the next 2 days. Yeah. My Japanese professors made us do all of our assignments. Onegaishimasu is very useful, yes. Onegaishimasu and suimasen. Certainly kanji are locked in from repetition, even if we're starting an active effort to learn kanji. Yeah, I used to have to write a daily journal with kanji, every day
そうだね。
for 3-4 years. I wrote half a page to a page of
about your
about my work. Yeah, like what the kids did that day. Did anyone get hurt? I had to write all this kind of stuff. This parent had an issue with this thing, so I had to write all that by hand in kanji, or not just obviously in Japanese, and that was a huge benefit for me. I'm going to put time into learning a language. I want to learn all of it, so I write kanji every day. Nice. Practice ones I can't remember, or my answers to lessons like Genki. Average Japanese person knows 950 kanji more than me. All right, closing the gap. Most hated, okay, I read that before. To be fair, I didn't know prognosticate was a word. Yeah, Yuki learned that in some weird memorized deck, and she tried to use it for so long in sentences, and I'm just like, nobody uses that for anything.
で
Prognosticate.
ね、じゃあもう一個もう一個。
はい
はい、思い出しましたね。
はい
私は書けないけど。
はい。
はい。photosynthesis。
Good night, Millie.
はい。
Photosynthesis. That's actually not that difficult, I don't think.
あ、そうマジじゃあダメだ。私
Photosynthesis
ダメだ。そうだよね。
Photosynthesis? That might be wrong. I'm not confident in this.
うん、ここって本当にさ、SIS かな。
I'm not confident in that one. Photosynthesis. Oh, I think it's right.
本当
I think it might be right.
マジチチチが出ないから。
Yay! I'm not a terrible
Oh,
speller.
no, that's right!
All right.
あー、全然間違えないね。
Yeah.
あ
So
ー
English words are if you learn the basics of spelling and you're a native, it's a lot easier to remember English words than it is for native Japanese people to remember kanji, I think. Just because it's not as complicated.
やばい。
Long technical words tend to actually follow the spelling rules. It's shorter words where the pronunciations have shifted massively from how they used to be written. Yeah, English is weird. Let's just say I'm glad my native language is English because I wouldn't want to learn it. That's for sure. And you won the spelling bee. I wonder what a spelling bee would be like for Japanese.
すげえな。ほんと
Native でも日本語難しい。私も間違うよ says Himiya.
そう
Himiya says
間違
Japanese
うん
is
ですよ
difficult. Even she makes mistakes. Happens all the time. We'll be headed to Japan for a month in November. Any place you think is a must-see while there? It depends on what area of Japan you're going to be in. November, it's going to be cold. It's not too cold. You might, if you're down south a little bit, you might still get to see changing colors. If it's your first time, obviously you're going to want to go around Tokyo a bit, maybe Kyoto, Nara, things like that. I love where I live in Nagano. Like I don't go venture too far out away from there just because it's got everything I want. So I'm actually one of the worst people to ask for advice on places to go. A lot of people do ask me like where should I go, and I don't leave Nagano. It's like what I say, come to Nagano. Yeah, I am like that. Except there's really not a whole lot to do in Nagano, like as a tourist. Like you could go to Togakushi, which has the super giant cedar trees with the path. You've got the snow monkeys.
そうそう、スノーモンキーはめっちゃ人気だけど、
Snow monkeys are popular, yeah.
京都にもいるんだよね。
Oh, they're in Kyoto as well? I didn't know that.
多分ね。
Snow monkeys, Togakushi. You've got Zenkoji, the big temple, which is really cool. You could do a day of that. And that's it.
ほら、only
That's
ask
tourist
me
stuff.
advice for
Yeah,
Kyushu
yeah,
って書いてある
basically.
よ。
Right. That's how I feel. It's like, ask me about Nagano. I have done, Yuki and I, one of our first trips together, we did a 6 or 7 day road trip around the north of Japan. So from Nagano, we took the coast. We went all the way up the coast of the east of Japan from Nagano up. So we went Niigata, way up the coast, then to Aomori. We went to the Nebuta festival in August, and then came down the east coast. We west coast up, then down the east coast back. That was really fun. But there's not a whole lot of stuff up there either, so.
そう、なんかね、山、川。
Like more than places, I like to think about festivals at times of year. I like festivals. Yeah.
そうだよね。漢字でいくと山、海岸、海、山、祭り。
Yeah. Maybe. Mountain, sea, festival, yeah. Snowboarding. So I'm terrible at advice.
フードマーケット。
Aomori is saiko, says Himiya-chan. Aomori was fun. I couldn't understand what they were
ひみや
saying.
ちゃんね、青森県出身だか
But...
ら。
Himiya-chan is from Aomori だって。
そう、青森ザベストの人だから。
青森弁わかるってことですね。いいな。
青森弁っていうか津軽弁と。
津軽弁。Okay.
南部方面の方言じゃないかな。って言
Okay.
っちゃうような気がするけどね。
Oh yeah, we did a podcast about that trip. I forgot about that. Good call, Dan.
そうだよ。
Forgot about that
もう
completely. Oh yeah, you did a couple live streams up in Aomori at that really cool hotel.
そうだよ。
You should check out the live streams from those hotel guys on Come to Japan's channel. That was a cool place. And he showed you like all around the place. Super cool. The more I learn other languages, the more respect I have for foreigners who are learning English, because reading any English word is practically a guess to the correct pronunciation. Agreed. Thanks for all the hard work that you've put onto your website. It's been helping me a lot with Genki. I'm so happy to hear that, Jose. Thank you. I'm glad that the website's helping out. I'm learning French as well, and I actually like it more than English. I love the sound of French, so that's the only other language I'd probably really consider learning. Probably. I tried to learn some Sinhala, which is a Sri Lankan language. I tried to learn some of that. I tried to learn some Thai, just because I was planning on going to those places so I learned a little bit. I used to speak a bit of Spanish, a decent amount, but I forgot all of that because it sounds a lot like Japanese when you're just starting Japanese, so I mixed those up and then completely forgot it. But then French, I like the sound of it. Recently we've been watching a French show with my grandmother called Astrid. And listening to the French is really cool. You can actually pick up little things. So I think if I were to do French, I'd almost go full immersion. I think I'd learn like 2,000 so words from an Anki deck, and then I'd just watch stuff, I think, and read. Because you could read French.
そんなにピックアップできてたの？フレンチを。
There's a lot of similarities with French and English and Spanish. So French and Spanish have a lot of similarities. So since I know some Spanish, it's easy to pick up stuff from that. And then English, there's a lot of words that come from French. So there's a lot of words you could hear in there.
本当聞こえてんの？
I could hear, like not everything, but there was definitely words.
全然聞こえないんですけど。
Yeah, he did one after you. He probably saw your video, Dan. He's like, I'm going to that hotel. Jose says, I can't read French. Que triste, que triste, que triste. It might just be que triste. It could be. I don't know. Spanish is my second language since the majority of people here speak it, but I forget how to say or even think of most Spanish words after learning Japanese. Yeah, that's what happened to me. I mix my Spanish and Portuguese, but my French is fine. No Klingon? I've never done Klingon. I've always wanted to do Elven, though. Tolkien's language, but
全然聞こえないんですけど。
Japanese and French don't have a whole lot of similarities. There's some words from French, like for example the way
あ、
that
メレンゲ
sure and croissant. How we say that in American English is terrible, but Japanese is much closer to the French.
クロワッサン
So croissant, I think,
クロワッサン似てん
is
の
closer to the French, I think, than American English.
本当あれは
K-triste.
ギモーブとかもそうなの
K-triste is how you say that. Okay, that's.
ケートリステ
If you don't use it, you lose it. I speak fluent pirate sailor with a trucker dialect.
ズボン
Zubon might is from French, probably, yeah. There's quite a few words in Japanese from French.
パン
Pun is French and Spanish, I guess. French is so hard I couldn't figure it out. Numbers are really hard in French, right? And the pronunciation is quite difficult. But I think it's feasible. I still might do it someday, but I don't have the reason to right now because I really need to work on pitch accent in Japanese, and I could do more work on kanji because you can always do more work on kanji. So I could still do more with Japanese, so it's hard to motivate myself to learn another language. Reading French if you know English is like a Chinese able to read Japanese kanji. Yeah, I figure it's similar to that. That makes sense. It's a good analogy actually. But it's still easier than me reading, like from day one, a day one learner, an English speaker, an English native who knows no Chinese or Japanese trying to read Japanese on day one. It's going to be harder for that person than it is for a person who can read Chinese reading Japanese. So.
モッツァレラもそうだったんだ
Yeah, it's enough, Alex. You can get by easily with that much. The kanji practice never stops if you don't want it to. Yeah.
はい
Just don't pronounce the last letter of every word and make every word a mumble grunt while looking fancy.
サボる is from
What is
French,
it?
I think って書いて
Interesting.
サボタージュってことサボタージュ
No, sabotage is a different word, I think. Saboru.
サボるってサボタージュの
Is it? It's from
あ
that?
れじゃないの
そうなんだ。
違うかな
Hontoda, sabotage. It is sabotage.
それって何
And it doesn't say it's from French here, but if we go to sabotage, then it says it is from
コーンポタージュ
French.
ってフレンチじゃないもしかして
It could be. Anyway, saboru is, yeah, it's sabotage. It's from the French. That's very cool. I think you should have given the most common reading for each
ラタトゥイユ
kanji.
とかわかるよ
No, I won't do that. I will never include the readings for kanji. While I'm teaching the meanings, I'm definitely doing that separately. We'll be doing it through words. Yeah, some people would like to have that, but it goes against my whole philosophy on kanji completely. So I won't be backing down from that, no matter how much people request it. So I do apologize for that. But, well, I don't apologize. I'm not apologetic about that. I think it's way better to learn words, learn verbs, and learn jukugo. And when you do that, if you can read those words, you can read the kanji in other words. So just learning a reading doesn't help you much, especially when you run into a word where that's not the reading. So no, I won't be doing that. Anyway, shukrimu. Yeah, there's
そう
another
だ
one.
シュークリームそうだシューは
Jose, yes, the pronunciation in Spanish, some pronunciation, like raridudero, being able to roll your R's from Spanish definitely helps you, Japanese pronunciation there. Some other places too. It can be a detriment in other places. The ja, jiju, jejo, that can be difficult for native Spanish speakers.
あそっかハヒフヘホだんだもんね
It becomes that, or
全部
yayu, yayo for, I can't
So
remember
that.
if it's Latin American or Spain Spanish. I can't remember which one it is. But those can be a little bit difficult, so that can be something that people have to work on, because it can be very hard to hear that for a Japanese person. But the rariuredo is a huge advantage for Spanish speakers.
Why does おそらく sounds like
Most likely.
most likely
Why does osoraku sound like most likely?
合ってない most likely じゃないおそらくって most likely じゃない
Are you asking why does it mean that? Because despite the kanji meaning like fear or scary, maybe? I don't know. I've never actually thought about it.
Start picking up vocab words in this series.
So yeah, that kanji is like scary. So why would that mean most likely? I don't actually know. I've never thought about it, but that is what it means. When will we start picking up vocab words in the series? When we're gonna do all the meanings for N5 and Kanken 10 first, so there's 118 of them, and then we jump right into the words. If you are a member of the site, the words are all in the Anki deck, so you can go at your own pace on those. The videos, you know, we have to make them. So when we get there, we get there. But so we have the 118 kanji, we'll learn the meanings and the writings, and then we'll start doing videos with the words. How important is it to perfect the R sound? You know, it depends. The ra, Japanese people can't say it. Some people probably can't hear it, but most people know that Americans tend to have a weird ra, so they might be able to understand you. Gambarimasu. People who have had some exposure to English might be okay with that. With that said, if you struggle with it a lot, what I tell people who have a really hard time with the dariruredo is just to say larirurero. Just use the L because it's closer than ra. La is closer to da than ra is. Way closer. R isn't a sound in Japanese. Japanese people can't make that sound. You know how hard it is for Japanese people to learn to make that sound? It takes like hundreds of hours of just practicing that sound. They don't have the muscles for it. So trying not to say ra-ri-ru-re-ro is the first best thing you can do for sounding better. Just say la-li-lu-re-ro. Because there's Japanese people who say da-di-ru-re-ro as la-li-lu-re-ro. I hear it all the time. I hear it a lot.
ですね、みんな頑張ってくれてるじゃないですか。みんなにはね違く聞こえるかもしれないんですけど、そのラとラとラが。でもほとんどの日本人にはラに聞こえます。
They hear them all as ra. So it's not a huge issue, but
そうみんな
it's
ね
okay.
頑張ってくれてるんだけど、みんな私たちにはもう伝わってます。
So yeah, even if you're struggling, most Japanese people will be able to hear it, and they'll just hear da.
そう、
because they don't have ra.
そうラでもラでも聞こえてます。
But lalilulelo comes. It sounds very good. Like if I've told people to stop saying ravi rure ro and instead say lalilulelo, and they come back with their recordings on the website because we check people's recordings on there, and like it's night and day. Like it sounds so much better. But
ひみやちゃんも言っています。全部
I
同じ
think so too. She says they all sound the same to her. Gambarimasu, gambarimasu, gambarimasu. They all sound the same? Oh, okay.
まあ最初だけ外国人さんだって思う。
The first one sounds a lot like a foreign.
だけど音は聞こえてる。
But they're picking it up. So it's not, long story short, it's not a huge issue. Right? But if you want to sound a little more natural.
そのね、ラができないから、なんか、外国人の人だって思うけど。
Oh, it's a foreign person, they think. But then it's fine. I've heard L multiple times in my JPEN exchanges. Yeah. That's kind of like pitch accent for us Westerners. In a way, it takes so long to learn pitch accent. I still mess up stuff. Like I've never studied pitch accent before. It wasn't a thing when I was a learner. So I'm not good at that at all. But I've never really had an issue with it.
私からちょっと評価させていくと、評価させていただくと。
She's gonna grade me. My pitch accent. Here we go.
75% ぐらいの時は合ってると思う。
Okay, she feels that 75% of the time my pitch accent is correct.
だけど 20% ぐらいは
20% of the time
ちょっと違う。
It's a little different.
そう、ネイティブじゃないって感じの時がある。
Right.
で、あとの 5% は
And after 5%,
ちょっと間違っちゃって。
I'm making a mistake with the pitch accent. 75%, my pitch accent is correct. 20%, oh, there goes the lights. 20%, it's a little bit off, and 5%, the pitch accent is wrong. So I got to work on that 5% for sure. But I don't think I can't think of many times where I was misunderstood really bad, or I had like trouble. Like I couldn't get a point across because my pitch accent was wrong.
でもほとんどの場合はさ、もうそれがないから。
まあね、 Most of the time the context is fine.
So.
But it is something I want to work on. There are a few YouTube videos about how to do the R in Japanese. It's not hard with a little practice. Can you do it, Yuki? Can you do what? The ra,
Ra
re,
じゃ
ro?
ない。
Ra.
Ra を言えないんですよ。
はい、頑張って。
Ra
Rabbit.
rabbit
Close. It's not
あ
bad.
言えないん
It's
だ。
not bad.
だってさ、
Real.
知ってるみんなさ、アンディって名前さ、アンドリューなんですよ。
So my
本当ね
name in Japanese is
本当は
Andoryu,
ね
Andrew.
私ね、一生言えないから。
She says, I'll never be able to say his name. She cannot say
無理だからもう。
Andrew.
もう一回言って。
やってみ Andrew.
まずね、
So the A is the A.
がね
Japanese people
無理
can't say the
そ
A.
のね、なんか
So Japanese people can't say A. Andrew. They can't say that
言
A.
えなくて、で、Andrew
She gets the Judu. It's close though.
DR が難しいから。
DR is very difficult.
そう。Andrew
This is why I changed my I always went by
マジ
Andrew.
恥ずかしいんだけど本当。
When I first came to Japan, I always
めっ
went
ちゃ
by
笑われてるよ。
I always went by Andoryu. And it was so hard for people to hear or pick up or remember and kids, so I just changed to Andy. I just went Andy. And now sometimes when I'm introducing myself in English, I'll say, oh, I'm Andy. Like with that instead of ea. That's kind of funny. But I'm glad I changed it because it's way easier for people to say and remember. Yuki or Andrew sounds a bit Australian. Interesting.
おーでもさ、ね、いつもね、頑張って言うとき、それ違うよって言う。とってもミーンだよね、アンディって。それ違うよって言うんだよ。ひどくない？
I'll just say, no, that's different. I wasn't listening. I was reading this comment. But ZPC says, the native Japanese speakers on their first encounter with English, did they actually struggle with ending with a consonant, or is that just a stupid myth? They do. Absolutely. You know, to, they'll end instead of a t, they'll say to, or instead of a r, they say ru. It's definitely not it's not a myth. It's a thing. Clip that since coming to Japan.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed something. When you can understand a native speaker because of context, but can't reply because you're afraid pitch accent of words is life in a nutshell. Don't ever not reply because you're afraid the pitch accent might be wrong. Don't ever do that. Just respond. Hi, how do you pronounce just a randomized word, not real? Hatsumi kotsui naramashi.
Hatsumi kotsui naramashi.
Just a randomized word, not a real word.
Ah, okay.
Hatsumi kotsui naramashi. I have a feeling my name will cause some problems too. And dude, you. You're welcome,
マジで
Jose.
難しいから本当。
My name is Russell, so I go by Rusty. That is easier. Even in English, people can't spell my name right 90% of the time. Yeah, I imagine you'll get like one S a lot, right? Unpopular opinion. I like that my accent has a little non-native texture to it. Being totally accentless is boring. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing I often say, James, is like, does it bother you when people have an accent in English? Like, I love accents in English. There's so many cool ones. French accents, Spanish accents, Australian accents, although, oh, there goes the final light. All kinds of accents. Like, accents are great. I don't know why people are so afraid to have an accent in Japanese. Like, it's not a big deal. Anyway, I've never done KKLC, but I've heard good things about it. But I've never done it, so. I don't like the readers very much, just because I was bummed that they weren't actually readers, they were just sentences. But it's better than nothing. All right, guys. Southern accent. I like Southern accents too. Yeah, there you go. I like those too. Southern accents. 南アメリカの南の方のなんかその drawling sound. I love those. I wish I could do accents. Like that would be so cool.
あるじゃんニューヨークのやつ。
I can speak my
すんげえ
accent,
早いやつ。
but I can't do any other ones.
あ、
That's the only one I can do. All right, well, our lights are going out. So I think I think it's time for us to go to bed.
暗くなり始
It's
め
getting dark. Fortunately, the camera seems to have
そうだね。あ、よかったよかった。
sort of taken care of the situation for us. But anyway, I think we're going to get to bed. Yeah, we are in the States, so we have these little battery lights, little tiny things that these are what are lighting us up. We unfortunately have some other lights that my grandmother had spotlighting us, but we have two of these. That's what makes it look semi-professional. And then I'm just using my
来ちゃってるこの
oh, that's not that. There's like my iPhone over here is the overhead camera that's automatically connected to the computer. And then I did bring I think the iPhone died.
マジ
Or the iPhone, the camera's not working. It's certainly not moving. I don't know. I think everything is falling apart.
あるあるよコネクティッド
It's not showing up in the overhead. See, it's not moving.
あれで
It doesn't move. So I think you know the mobile stream setup is awesome, but I think 2 hours seems to be the limit.
はい
So since all of our equipment is going to sleep, except for the camera, I think it's time for us to get to sleep too. But thanks for hanging out, guys.
ありがとうございます
Thanks,
なんか最後
Eddie-san.
I am having trouble with Hana and Hana pitch. How do
I feel like
say-
Mochi Ball is joking. I feel like it's a joke, but go ahead. You can show them.
花と
Hana,
花
hana, hana, hana,
本当に両方下がってか片方下がってる
hana,
花と
hana, to,
花
hana.
私もわかんないんですけど
Yeah, I think it was a joke.
Hana
I think they were joking.
花
All right, we are going to go to bed. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a great week. We will see you next Wednesday, same time, same place, for lesson 3. So, thanks so much.
はい
Hey, なんかあっ
大
た？
丈夫いやもうアナウンスしちゃおうかと思った
あ、
けど
それは
1週間
また来週で。
早すぎちゃったと思う
そう。はい。
はい
はい
じゃあ、
こちらこそありがとう。
ね、そこのウォルマートでねオフ会やるんで
はい、オフ会は Walmart.
ねそこのウォルマートね
Thank you guys. Thank you so much, and thank you for all the super chats as well. That was really nice of you guys. Thank you. Walmart's fine. はい、お疲れ様です。ひみやさん、ありがとうござい
あ
ます。
りがとうございます
はい、alright guys, have a great week. We'll see you next time.
そう
はい。
来週ねまたはい、
はい、せーの。また次のビデオで会いましょうね。バイバーイ。